Fan Sports Network.
All right, 6:02 in the Rose City. Time for Dirt and Sprague on Portland Sports Leader 105.1, the Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
What is happening?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Hey, now I know what day of the week it is. I gotta be able to know.
There we go.
I just felt good. Like, I took an L in the opening segment yesterday. It's gonna happen from time to time. We have bad takes. There was one listener that supported me in my delay.
What was your take?
The brother-in-law and the wedding thing. I took an L on that one yesterday.
Well, your experience suggested you were right.
Yeah,
so it's all you're speaking to.
But there was one listener who was like, hey, wait, Dirt's right here. He always says the day of the week. And I was like, thank you. There was one person. And he chimed in. Now I got to go the rest of my day not knowing what day of the week it is. Is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? I don't know what day it is, man.
But this job at some points is kind of stupid in many ways. I love that we're to a point now where you're counting takes wrong or right on things like brother-in-law being invited to wedding.
Oh, there's take. You gotta be right,
but
man.
that's not a right, like
where
wrong.
Dirt was wrong.
No,
Brother-in-law's in the wedding. Take an L, buddy.
Okay, all right. I guess I won that one.
Look, I gotta be better today. Okay, that's my whole goal. Just be better, not lose the take. That's my whole. That's my whole point today.
Can I tell you something? So I got home yesterday. And I have a lot, we're trying to get our house in order because I got Hood to Coast this week, and we got people coming over Thursday. And
when do the kids go back to school? When's your school start over
Labor
there?
Day weekend. I got for Labor Day
another
weekend.
week.
So I think it's that Tuesday is the first day.
Okay.
The second. So we got a couple weeks of summer left.
It's 2 weeks from today, right?
Yeah, it's winding down, and they can feel it, and they're getting a little sad about it. So we're getting our house in order. Well, I remember there was Monday Night Football, which I think we forgot to bring up on the show yesterday.
We did, yeah.
We didn't mention it at all.
Actually, it ended up being hey, guys are playing early at least.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, all right.
You got Daniels, you got Burrow.
So I turn it on, right? And I'm like, I get the intro, and I sat on my couch. My family had left to go run errands right as it started. I'm making dinner. I might have popped a gummy. And, dude, that music and Joe Buck's voice hit, and I just was like,
yes.
Hello, friends.
Yes.
Oh, I'm feeling things right now.
Made you feel good, didn't it?
I didn't even care who was playing. I had no idea going into it who was playing and how long they were playing, and we can get into that. But the music and the voices and the aesthetic, it made me so happy.
I had my first experience of the little guy is not he doesn't watch a lot of TV. Like, he's never been really interested in, like, sitting and watching anything that's on the screen, which is good because you don't want a lot of screen time for your kid. In the last, 2 to 3 weeks, he's finally become interested in Miss Rachel. He's a big Miss Rachel guy now. If you turn on an episode of Miss Rachel, he'll, kind of lock in and watch it, which is great because I need 10, 15 minutes every now and then to get something done.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, can you just go sit and chill for a second while I clean the dishes or make dinner? I also forgot the game was going on. And so it was like 5-something. I just got back from the park. I'm like, I got to make dinner, buddy. Do you want to watch a little Miss Rachel while I make some dinner? And then it dawned on me that the Monday Night Football game was on, and I said, oh, wait a minute. Sorry, buddy, I got to turn football on. And we had like a 3-minute meltdown because Miss Rachel did not show up on television. And instead it was Bengals and Commanders. Now, he got over it quickly, but it was my first he's starting to get into this stuff. He really likes the show.
What do you think it is about Miss Rachel?
I don't know. He's just into the singing, the dancing, I don't know what it is. No other shows will do that. Like, he'll watch Sesame Street for maybe a minute and then kind of run around and want to go do something else. Never fully lock in. But after dinner, I needed to clean up the dishes, and I said, all right, it's halftime. I'll turn an episode on. Dude, sat on the couch for 10 minutes, didn't make a sound, let me clean the kitchen up. It was perfect.
Really?
It was wonderful.
Just in a trance.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I should probably turn this off now. This isn't good for your long-term development.
That reminds me of a kid at Little League World Series. I'm not a big fan of it. I think it anyways, I won't get into that. Not a huge fan. I saw a graphic that one of the kids, they put on the graphic, had huge crush on teacher. What up, Miss Stevens?
Hey, Miss Stevens.
How old are these kids? Are they 12? Are they 10?
They're 12.
Yeah, 12.
So most of them haven't even really hit puberty because you could tell they're little tiny guys, but it's just like, what up, Miss Stevens?
What are you doing later? What are you doing this weekend?
This Teddy ball game. What up, Miss Rachel?
Miss Rachel? Yeah, 10 to 12 years old, Little League World Series.
Yeah, I saw that graphic. That reminds me of, that's probably Teddy ball games thing is just like, oh my God.
I don't know if I would have had the balls to do this too if I were a 12-year-old in a Little League World Series, but there were multiple kids who have taken shots at current players. I don't know if you've seen these clips, but there was one There was a kid from the Australia team who took a steaming dump all over Shohei Ohtani. Because I get
the greatest baseball player to ever breathe oxygen. We're crapping on him
because they were. I think the Dodgers played a game in Australia. Was that last year? They played in Australia. They did something where the kid was at a game and they got a ball. Somehow got a foul ball of Shohei Ohtani's. And the next game they tried to go get the autograph. And Shohei, like they were down in the clubhouse area.
Sure.
There was nobody else around. Asked Shohei to sign the autograph, and Shohei rolled his eyes and walked away. Didn't sign the autograph.
Did he really roll his eyes?
I don't know. That's what the kid said on
ESPN.
ESPN. This was like in the middle of a game. They're interviewing a Little League kid, and then there was another one they did where they were asking kids their favorite players, and one of the kids said Juan Soto was his favorite player. And then they moved the mic to his teammate and said, "Who's your favorite player in baseball? Is it Juan Soto too?" And the kid just flat out said, "Nah, he's overrated. He's not that good." And then named another player. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of respect it, man.
Well, I'd say
Taking
this.
shots.
Being an adult, I'm like, I kind of understand Shohei, like how many people ask him to sign at all times of his life, and in one moment chooses not to.
Now you're the villain.
I've also been the kid
that wants the autograph.
Being 3 feet behind Anthony Penny Hardaway, just going, "Penny, can I get your autograph?" And he just straight ignore me, and I will never like Penny Hardaway the rest of my life.
I know you heard me. I know you can hear me.
As close as you and I. As close as you and I.
Hear the words coming out of my mouth.
Like, imagine you turn your back to me. Dirt.
Just walk out of the room.
Dirt, can I get your autograph? Just not once even just say, "Hey, man, thanks for being a fan. I'm not feeling it." And I would have been, like, devastated, but, like, also I was calm enough as a kid to go, okay.
I just talked to Penny Hardaway. That's kind of cool. Yeah. If he turned around and just said, "Hey, not right now." Hey, at least Penny Hardaway talked to me. At least I got something out of that. I remember being a kid going to spring training, which is the best spot if you want baseball autographs because it's a relaxed environment. Half the guys aren't playing.
The road hasn't beaten them down yet.
If you want autographs, go to spring training. And I'll never forget the disappointment going back-to-back years when I was a kid to watch the Giants in spring training, and Barry Bonds didn't show up.
Ooh.
Because he just would play golf.
Well, yeah. I mean,
like, why am I going?
Bonds,
I'm not going. I'm on steroids and I'm hitting 80 bombs. I'm not going to spring training. And I'll never forget, like, standing around the dugout waiting for number 25 to walk out. And then it's slowly dawning on me, like, he's not even, it's not that he's not playing. He's literally not even here. And that autograph's not happening.
Well, the football game made me feel things. And then later on, once the football game, like, I think it was about the third quarter, I turned it off. Because, like, at some point, I don't care about the fourth string guys playing.
Yeah.
Sam Hartman wasn't doing it for you.
Oh, Hartman was playing.
He's the backup for the Commies.
Can I give you a take?
Good-looking guy.
I watched a decent amount of Jake Browning. Jake Browning's a pretty good backup.
He did good. Remember last year? Was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
That Burrow got hurt, and he came in and won a couple of games.
I know, but...
Oh, he made some dimes, but then he's just not consistent.
Yeah, but the Commanders backup, do you know who it is? It's Josh Johnson. How are you feeling about Josh Johnson versus Jake Browning?
Oh, yeah. Well, Josh Johnson has played for every NFL team at this point, is he not?
I think so.
I mean, there's backups in this league that you're like, we said it yesterday, Dallas. Joe Milton is going to be the one to have to save you.
Yeah, he is so bad.
Give me Jake Browning all day. But the
bad.
nostalgia hit, and nostalgia hit again later because I had remembered Rich Eisen is back at ESPN. They were bought by NFL Network. He's naturally transitioning back. His show is simulcast, but they had him host a Sports Center for the first time in like 22 or 23 years.
22 years.
And they brought the old intro back.
Yeah.
Tonight on Sports Center.
Oh, man.
The preseason Monday Nighters certainly did not disappoint in D.C., while an old D.C. star powered up the Phillies against the Mariners twice. In Pittsburgh, Paul Skeens actually got runs, 2 of them. Was it enough against Toronto?
It was.
But really, sometimes you gotta keep it simple and direct.
Why didn't you go down?
I wanted to score.
This show is all about strolling down memory lane. No, not about having hair. It's about throwing a whole bunch at you while having an old school good time. So stay tuned and don't flip out. Sports Center is next.
They need to bring back the old team song.
How old are we when we hear this? Let's be honest here. You're going to be dated a little bit here.
Saying this for the first time in 22
You're 85 years old.
Welcome to Sports
But how
Center.
old are you when you hear that intro?
probably 10.
I was gonna say I'm 12.
About
We're
10,
exactly
yeah.
2 years apart. That's funny you said that.
That's where my mind
Well,
goes.
when they first started doing that,
You remember they switched it. I remember the
Yeah.
moment they switched it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's a new intro."
We got a new song.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I was probably in college or shortly out of college, somewhere in there.
Oh, buddy. I thought you'd say high school. College?
When did Eisen start doing Sports Center?
Like 95?
95.
Yeah.
93, 95. I think he was in that range.
I don't have a lot of frame. I don't remember the start of it. I was too young for that, but I clearly remember
Yeah,
the
I was
end
out
of
of
it.
college.
And him and Stuart Scott were a hell of a team.
And
dude.
that was the weird part is I have him. You have guys connected, right? Patrick and
Always.
Olbermann.
Always.
I have Scott and Eisen connected.
Yeah.
And he did a thing kind of at the back end where he got a little emotional. He's like, he should be here. He should be doing this with me. But I'll tell you, man, the one thing I don't like about the streaming era, it's given us great shows. There's more access to great content, but we don't all watch the same stuff at the same time.
No,
Right.
we're all over the map.
And I can't speak to every sports fan out there, casual sports fan, diehard. It felt like the real sports fans out there, if they were able to, it felt like last night was a little bit of a moment in the universe where some of us were like, this feels good.
This is
Getting
a
back to
simpler
this.
time.
Hello,
man.
old friend.
I mean, it was. You think back in the day when they used to do it, you didn't have the ability to follow everything to this level in sports.
No. Yeah.
And so that's when Sports Center was appointment television because you had no clue who won or lost games unless you were reading the newspaper the next morning.
Yeah, what was the score of the Guardians
Right, I have no
Phillies
idea.
game? I wouldn't have known it
That game
unless
wasn't
I
on
watched.
TV. I
Right.
didn't have an MLB extra innings
Right.
package. There was no way to watch it, and so unless you were in market, you couldn't watch your team. So that's how you found out what happened that night in sports. We all
Yes.
sat there together and learned about, they won, or this guy got in a fight, or this guy hit a home run, or that's how we all found out. And now we're scrolling Twitter, or you're on ESPN, or you're watching your team's game, and we already know before Sports Center begins, and there's not a lot of new information they could give you.
I had forgotten about some of his catchphrases too. Like
I
I
did
knew
too.
some of them, but a couple I was like, "Oh yeah, the whooping stick."
That's right. 22 years ago, man.
I forgot about that.
I was 14 years old the last time Rich Eisen hosted Sports Center.
That's crazy.
14 years old.
That's he did a top 10 plays of football since he had his last Sports Center in 2003. And what do you think his number one play is if you didn't see it? Did you see it?
Oh,
It was at the back end of
I
the
did
show.
not see his top plays.
What was his number one football play? I'll give you a clue here.
The interception in the Charger Rams game?
No, I'll give you a clue
Okay.
here.
There
They
was a
were all
defensive
playoff
tackle who had a
related.
pick.
They were all playoff related.
Oh, playoff related.
Because they're the biggest plays
They were the
since
biggest
he had
play.
left.
Oh, since he left.
Yeah.
Oh, not just the top 10
No, no,
plays in
no.
the last day. Got it.
03 to when he had come
Oh,
back,
God.
the biggest playoff NFL plays.
Was it the helmet catch, Giants and Patriots?
No, I
David
believe that was
Tyree?
number 3 or 4.
What was number one?
It was Malcolm Butler. And Mina Kimes was
Mina
right next
Kimes
to him,
was
and she
like,
went, "Really?"
Dude, Rich, come on, man. I thought we were over this.
He was like, "What would you have number one?" She's like, "I don't know, Richard Sherman's tip against the Niners," and he's like,
That was the NFC title
Come
game.
on.
I mean, that was a big play, but this was a
that wasn't
Super
even in
Bowl.
his top 10.
That wasn't. I mean, NFC title game was big, but you think of Malcolm Butler's pick?
Yeah,
That won a Super Bowl.
it stopped
That's
a dynasty.
One of the most controversial play calls we've ever seen.
Well, and I don't like the Seahawks, but I'll agree with him. That felt like a dynastic Seahawk team.
Yes,
and
it
they
did.
only won one.
Yes, it did.
And if you win 2, I think people are now coming around to the idea that if you win 2, you're a dynasty. It doesn't have to be a long dynasty.
Doesn't happen very often in the NFL.
Back-to-back's hard.
That quarterbacks get 2 with the same team in a short amount of time. It's very rare.
Yeah, the other one he had, I think it was his number 2 play, and he goes, "I'm sorry, Kurt, I had to do this," because he worked with Kurt Warner at the NFL Network.
Oh, yeah.
The James Harrison.
The pick six, the 100-yard pick
100-yard
six.
pick six.
Now, here's the fun thing for you guys, okay? And we'll go on this.
That's a challenging thing to do over the top 10 plays of the last 22 years in the NFL.
You know, I actually think he nailed it.
You think he got the list right?
He had the Minnesota
He had
Miracle.
one regular season play. He had the OBJ catch against the
Oh,
Cowboys
that's
on
right. That was
Monday.
number
That
10, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Beast Quake was in there.
Yeah, that should be playoff game.
The Warner interception. You know what's funny about that highlight? I remember the game. Do you remember the score and the time and the place that interception pick 6 happened?
I don't. I
It was
would
the
have guessed.
last play of the first half.
That's what I was going to guess. End of the first half.
So it was in the first half.
And it
Now,
was a low-scoring game, right?
very low-scoring game. Do you remember the score?
I want to say Arizona had the lead, 10-3.
So Arizona did not have the lead. I had to go back and do a refresher on this. I went and pulled up the game log. They threw that pick at the 1 yard line. 18 seconds left in the first half.
God, that's a backbreaker.
And it was 10-7 Pittsburgh.
Okay, so they're losing, about to take the lead.
They are a yard away from being up 14-10
At
in the
halftime.
Super Bowl at halftime of the Super Bowl.
And instead-
James Harrison goes pick six.
And they still damn near won the game.
Yeah.
If not for one of the greatest throws and catches we've ever seen in Super Bowl history.
It was nuts.
Big Ben to Santonio Holmes in the corner of the end zone. If not for that, they would have won that game.
Yeah. 17-7 halftime.
It was fun. That was a fun walk down memory lane last night.
I thought it was
The
too.
nostalgia play was great. They should bring back the old theme song. I don't know if he's going to do this regularly or if it was just a launch of his radio show.
I missed if he announced that part.
He did.
He's going to do
said,
this?
No, not Sports Center. I'd not be a regular host.
I think they did it as a buzz to launch the radio show, which begins this week.
It starts September 2nd.
Okay.
If anything, it's like how hard that gig is to get back in the flow of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
not easy to do.
You could tell, like, and this isn't a shot at him in any way, but he had moments where you could tell, like, I haven't done highlight play-by-play
Exactly.
in a long
It's been a
time.
while, man.
He did great. I don't mean that as a shot. He did fantastic. I also wondered how much of him wished he had a Stuart Scott next to him because
Yeah.
it just helps to take those breathing moments.
Yes, you do this highlight, I do that highlight. We go back and forth.
Well, I don't know who else is around.
But him and SVP would be fun to see a do once.
It'd be
Yeah.
a great combination.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun.
I'd be in on that.
Had
And
SVP started when he was,
SVP
I would
was there.
imagine 22 years ago that SVP was at ESPN.
or was he still at Golf Channel?
In 2003?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look that up.
We'll have to Google that.
They
bad
had
boy.
rejoiners with old SportsCenter commercials too, and you know which one I forgot about? The in between commercial breaks, the boxing ring
Yeah.
corner one.
That was great.
Cut me, Lou. Cut me. And he's slapping him in the face, and then they come back. He's like, "This is SportsCenter." It's all calm.
They would have had.
There's
If they
so
would've-
many great
Steve
ones.
Levy's probably on vacation somewhere, but I
Ooh,
think
Levy's a good
Levy
one.
was there.
Yeah.
Levy would have been good with him.
Levy's a good one.
2001 is when SVP
Oh,
joined.
okay.
So they just barely crossed over, but had a couple of years there.
That would have been a fun combo because they could both poke fun at the fact that they got there, they had hair,
They did.
and now they're back and they
Yeah.
don't.
Just balding old men.
Yeah.
That's a new name of the Sports Center.
Just leaning into it.
I'd fit right in. I'm ready to go. Rich, give me a call.
Well, we got a good show today. It's not going to be as much nostalgia. There's more reaction in the sports world. Busy show, mail sack show, Tim O'Malley at 8 a.m. Notre Dame is number 9 on the Dirty Poll. So we'll continue there. I may have burned a guest for us all time, and I may have overbooked a different guest. So we can talk about that on the air if we want, but we can get to that, yeah.
One course correction, too. I did forget it. The backup in Washington is not Josh Johnson.
Oh, who is it?
The backup, how dare you? The
Josh
level
Johnson
of-
came in, though.
He did. The backup did not play last night because he's banged up right now. It is the GOAT.
Kirk Cousins is back? Oh,
The GOAT is
Mariota.
The Mariota's the backup in Washington.
Touche, okay.
Remember he came in the playoff game? I think he fumbled
Yeah.
a snap on a fourth
Yeah,
down play or
yeah,
so. You know,
we don't forget.
We don't need to worry about
Career
that.
hasn't gone
They won the
well.
game. He helped. He helped Daniels develop.
Hasn't quite had a Teddy Two
He
Gloves career. I'll tell you that much.
deserves 20% of that NFC Championship game appearance just for his tutelage alone.
Teddy Bridgewater's had a better career.
Well, that's controversial. I think it is. I
you
think it
know.
is. Give me 20 touchdown passes in a season.
One did win a playoff game at Arrowhead.
Well, yeah, he did. And he caught his own touchdown pass.
touchdown
He threw a
pass
touchdown
to
to himself. How many times has that happened in the history of the NFL?
Let's get it going. Dirt and Sprague, good to be with you on this Tuesday. We start next on 105.1 The Fan. Well, two things last night stuck out for me in sports. Well, actually three. I should just add selfishly. My baseball team blows right when they feel good and they're playing well. They get shelled by the White Sox.
M's lost again.
Well, that's the other thing is we have a real uncomfortable elephant in the room here where since he proclaimed the Mariners really need the Mets,
It's not gone well.
they lost the series to the Mets, and then they gave up 21 hits to the Phillies, which is the most that the Phillies have had in a game since 2009.
They also screwed up a Trey Turner celebration. Did you see that?
Oh, I missed that one.
He got his 1,500th hit in his career, which is,
pretty cool,
halfway to
Yeah.
3,000.
It
Big
was a
milestone.
home run, wasn't it?
It was a home run. They put a big thing up on the Jumbotron, and it said, congrats on 1,500 career home runs.
Oops.
Oh, that'd
Not
be
quite.
pretty
That would be
remarkable.
remarkable if he had 1,500 home runs. So they celebrated him, but, just not quite home runs, more hits.
So we're dealing right now with a current swag Mariner jinx.
Yes, we are.
And then I also saw people, I watched this and I was enjoying it. I saw people really bothered. I mean, bothered by Joe Burrow daring to play past the first quarter.
How dare he?
That was a horse collar. Get him out of there.
His head must have fallen off, right? Is he out for the year? Is he hurt? Did he tear his ACL in the game last night? Is he okay?
Look, if you're a Bengal fan, I understand it. I'll give you the pass today.
I actually don't. Can I defend it? Even from a Bengal fan standpoint?
Well, he himself defended it.
Yes.
So, I don't know if you're Zach Taylor, what do you do here? You can say, you know what? I don't care what he says. You got to do what's best. I'm like, but if Joe Burrow tells me
Yeah.
I'm playing.
He calls the shots, dude. He's the captain.
Yeah, he is the captain of the ship.
He told them in the offseason, pay my wide receivers, and they paid his wide receivers.
Exactly.
Joe Burrow has played very little in the preseason over the last couple of years. What did the Bengals start last season record-wise?
Yeah, they're slow starters.
0-3. They lost their first three games, beat Carolina barely, and then lost to Baltimore in overtime to start 1-4.
Yeah.
They ended up going 9-8 on the season,
Yep.
and without a horrible start, probably make the playoffs, despite how bad their defense was. The year before that, they still made the playoffs. They started the year 1-3. They were slow out of the gate. Like, this is who they've been the last couple of years. They've been a really slow team. The year before that, I think they lost their first two games of the year, lost to Pittsburgh, lost to Dallas. So the last 3 years, that's been their MO, and I think that's been his mantra in the preseason of how do we avoid eliminating ourselves in the first month of the season? And his idea is let's not come in rusty, let's come in ready to go.
Well, I thought it was important reporting that it was either Salters or Aikman, which, by the way, Aikman, I love Aikman not caring at all, and he'll just give you a take. And yesterday it was like, the Bengals defense was pathetic last year. Why don't they help Joe Burrow more? I just thought, yeah, dude, call it out.
Dude, they gave up a touchdown on 4 plays on the opening drive, playing a lot of their starters. And that's a great negotiation tactic for Trey Hendrickson right there.
Well, and I totally get where we're at, right? Like how important quarterback is. I also loved the freak out about Jaden Daniels' touchdown run. It's just like, even Salters, wait, yeah, why are you running?
Yeah.
He's like, that's how I play.
I
And-
wanted to score a touchdown.
Yeah, basically, he's like, I wanted to score. And Dan Quinn made a joke about it in the postgame. But the reporting on the broadcast was that Burrow was staying in, not necessarily just for the slow start. Dirt, it was because he wants to build chemistry with the 2 and 3s at receiver, because in that sport, it's so week to week that you don't know if Chase is going to be out there. So he wanted to be out there to build the chemistry, and I would say did a pretty damn good job.
I thought it was brilliant on his part to think that far ahead of the what-if scenarios that could pop up during the season. You never want to entertain the thought that Jamar Chase could go down and miss a significant amount of time, but it's football and injuries happen.
Right.
And you'd rather be prepared for it than in week 5 look up and say, wait a minute, I've never really played with this bunch of wide receivers in an actual game. And now he has that experience under his belt. I thought it was smart of him to play an entire quarter to get those reps in, to try and get the offense into a rhythm with different sets of wide receivers. The freak out that we do is one of the most nauseating things that I experience as a sports fan. To me, it's akin to the way we handle pitchers in baseball. Like, guys' arms are just going to fall off if they throw 10 more pitches. Oh, he can only throw 70 today. If he throws 80, oh my God, we can't. He'll never be the same guy ever again. When that's just the freak out level that we do with situations like this, it drives me absolutely nuts. Both guys were fine. Most guys were healthy out of the game. They're going to be okay. They got good reps. They're ready to go this season. We don't need to freak out every time somebody plays in a game.
Swag, would you like to apologize for your jinxing of the Mariners before we move on, or would you just like to just act like you're not the reason they're losing now?
Sorry, Mariner fans. What do you want? Dodgers got walked off by the Rockies last night.
They did get walked off by the Rockies.
You know, it's going around.
Was that the game where the pitcher ran into the first baseman to catch the final out? Was that game last night
No,
for the Rockies, or was that 2 days ago?
That was 2 days ago.
I saw that highlight where the guy ran into the
just
first
got
baseman.
bulldozed
He's like,
midair.
"Yes, we won a game." Stay hell on the ball. That was a hell of a catch.
Hey, good news for you. Giants helped you out last night.
Look
They
at us,
did.
man. We're helping everybody out.
They did.
We're patting your back. You pat our back, all right?
You know what I would hate about you?
Tigers helping Mariner fans out a little bit. They crushed the Astros, so
Sure.
Seattle's not falling too far back.
If I was a Mariner fan listener, you know what I would hate about you is that you jinx my team, and then when you step to the plate to take ownership of it, you basically have a tone of, I don't care.
He doesn't care.
Sorry, Mariner fan.
Doesn't matter to me. It's not my fandom. Doesn't matter what I jinxed.
They're going to...
Shouldn't Mariner fans be used to this after 50 years?
Yeah, this is the Mariners. Like the
I mean,
whole
I was
why not this year?
I was up
I don't
there
know,
in
50 years of
95.
history?
I think Naylor 0 for 5.
I don't know. I didn't watch the game.
Cal was 0 for 5.
Cal was 0 for 5. I saw an 0 for 5 in there.
Yeah.
Is he going to win MVP still?
Yes. Judge still isn't playing, right?
Yeah, Judge is
back?
playing.
Is he back?
He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cal's got it.
He's got it.
Dude, he gets a 50.
What are Judge's numbers right now?
I don't know.
The batting average is way up there.
I didn't know he was back.
Like what's more important to you?
50 home runs for a catcher's
For a
pretty.
switch hitting
it is.
catcher who
He's
plays
playing day to day.
I know.
Judge is a DH, right? Or is he in the outfield?
No, I think he might DH occasionally, but I think he plays a
I
lot
think he's
of
back
outfield.
in the outfield.
Has Cal missed any games?
Let's
Other
see
than
here.
scheduled
A
days
scheduled day off to
That-
rest the knees
no,
a little
I don't-
bit.
Yeah, I mean, catchers get
He hasn't
days
been
every now
on
and
the
then.
usually, and a lot of times he'll DH if he's not catching.
Yeah, I'll argue to this till I'm
Here's
blue
your
in the
here's
face,
your
dude.
numbers comp.
Cal
okay?
Raleigh should win the MVP this year.
Game total: Cal Raleigh 123,
Uh-huh.
Aaron Judge 114.
Okay.
Batting average: Cal Raleigh is at 249.
Okay.
Aaron Judge is hitting 333, which is
Yeah.
top in the American League.
Yeah.
Home runs 47 for Raleigh, 39 for Aaron Judge.
Dude, almost 10 up on him on that.
And
category.
RBIs 102 for Raleigh, 91 for Aaron Judge.
Look, average is important. I'm
he's
not
hitting
gonna,
almost 100 points higher than Cal Raleigh.
100%. I agree with the old takes that like average should matter, but like also a catcher going for almost 50 homers.
I'm not
and-
saying it's a bad
Who
season.
would you pick?
I don't know. That's a very complicated question.
I don't think it is. He's a good catcher too.
I think I need to know what the final batting average ends up being.
What if it stays right around where it's at?
Right
If it
around
stays right around where it's
and
at,
the
I'm
difference
okay
in
with
homers,
that.
RBIs being close to where they're at.
Then I'm okay giving it to Cal Raleigh.
Okay.
His batting average, though, when you look at it month by month, has been sinking like
It's
a stone.
dropping. He's,
And that's
he's going a little more yardage.
Part of what happens to catchers. Who
Oh, no
play
doubt.
every
They've
day.
run out of gas. Like his batting average this in the month of August, we're now 19 days in, so they've played a huge chunk of he's hitting in August?
No.
$197.
Yeah.
You know what he hit in July? $194.
I'm
For
telling
the
you.
entire month of July, he hit 194.
I don't know how that home run at the Little League World Series game got out, but like that was a Vlad Guerrero throwing my bat at a ball, and somehow I got enough on it to get out of here.
Did he? He didn't hit one at Williamsport. That was Saturday at City
He
Field.
hit one on Sunday Night Baseball.
Yes, he did.
Go Oracle yourself.
Yes, he did.
Let's move on. We got quarterback news. Look at that face. That's a face of a man who's been beaten.
He hit one at City Field on Friday, and he hit one at the Little League World Series on Sunday.
Maybe you should have watched the game.
Sorry, Mariners.
Let's move on. We got quarterback news. We'll get to it next on the Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Jaden Daniels with his first action of the NFL preseason. Got just one series, didn't throw a pass, but he did score the Commanders' opening touchdown on a 14-yard scramble. Joe Burrow played into the second quarter for the Bengals, completed 9 of 14 passes, 62 yards and a touchdown. Cincinnati picking up the 31-17 win. Elsewhere around the NFL, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford participated in the entirety of practice Monday after missing most of training camp with a back issue. Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson back on the practice field from a 25-day absence due to a hamstring strain. And the Dolphins agreed to a one-year contract with veteran pass rusher Matthew Judon. 3 Ducks named to the AP College Football Preseason All-American team. Senior transfer cornerback Dylan Thieneman earning first-team honors, while running back Mekhi Hughes and linebacker Mateo Uiagalelei named to the second team. Mariners' road woes continued in Philadelphia. The entire Phillies lineup had a hit by the second inning of a 12-7 rout to open things up. Game 2 this afternoon, 3:45. Bryce Miller opposite Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Seattle starts play a game and a half behind the Astros in the AL West and tied with the Yankees and Red Sox for the top spot in the wild card race. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigart from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm.
All right, welcome back in. Durden Sprague here, 638 on 105.1 FM, The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
M's fans throwing you into this too, Sprager.
What did I do?
And Mariner fan have not forgotten Sprague questioning why we lack confidence in our team last week. Yep. There's only one person on this show who has remained consistent on the Seattle Mariners.
I definitely didn't bet them after Cal Raleigh won the home run derby.
All year. The Mariners are the Mariners, and they will always be the Mariners until proven otherwise.
Oh, what Swag knows and also sometimes doesn't know is when I'm responsible, I also throw it at him, make him responsible. That's his job.
Deflect.
It's okay, M's fans. You got the A's next. I don't know. Maybe you still win this Phillies series. I don't know. The Phillies could be a weird team.
There's a long ways to go.
Yeah, long ways to go. Let's get to some quarterback news. Combination of pros and amateurs, although I don't know if we classify them as amateurs anymore.
I don't think they are. I think they're semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro and pro.
All right. Cal yesterday decided to make an announcement. We got quarterback announcements yesterday, just left and right. We talked about it.
Where you at, Dan? Where you at, Dan?
Dan ain't going to do it. Dan ain't going to do what Dan won't do.
Do it, Dan.
Cal announced that
Jaron Sagapotule, whatever.
is going to be their starting quarterback this year.
Oregon legend.
He
spent a week on campus. They built a statue for him, and then he parted ways to go to Cal.
Went to the Rose Bowl with them, hung out, and it was like, yeah, actually, I'm going to leave. Bye.
I'm not doing this.
So now the Beaver fans are going to get a taste. They were going to get a taste potentially this year as a Duck. They're going to get a taste as a Cal Bear.
First game he's going to start.
I'll tell you this.
Reser Stadium, night game, 7:30.
I'm trying to hold like a lot of the prediction-ish kind of thoughts on the Ducks beef stuff.
Yeah. We got 2 more weeks to go.
Which is hard, man.
It's not
I
easy
want to get
do.
into it.
I know. I'm ready to shoot.
I'll start just an early little teaser. This should be primed, served on a platter. Okay, Oregon State, you're different this year. Your defense is going to be better.
Yeah.
This is a true freshman starting. Going to be a good player, right? All the highlights are out there.
He beat out. I had forgotten that they had
the transfer player.
Is it Devin Brown?
Devin Brown.
Is that what his name? Yeah, the kid from Ohio State.
Look,
I forgot that he was there. At one point, the number 1 quarterback in the country coming out of high school.
Totally get it. He is going to be on the road for his first game in college.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any excuses. This is it for Oregon State. If you're going to start the season 1-0, it better be this year.
That's a must-win game. Considering their first 5, it's a must-win game. They also got some decent news, too, for the Texas Tech game. I don't know if that's a random not quarterback note.
I saw that.
But their running back transfer Joyner from USC, who was supposed to be a big part of their offense, is now going to be out for the entire year.
Yeah.
So Texas Tech is replacing their top running back going into the year, and you're facing a true freshman quarterback on the road, or he will be on the road. You get him at home in his first ever career start. That's prime for the pickings for a team who's trying to pride themselves in playing better defense than they played last year with a defensive-minded head coach.
We mentioned Julian Sayin, so we don't need to get into that, but I did see in the pro level, Matt Stafford practiced.
He's back. I thought he was dead.
Kind of felt that way.
Rams didn't answer any questions on him. He wasn't showing up to any practice or team event, it felt like, for a week. They asked McVay on Saturday, what's going on with Stafford, and he gave a non-answer. And everybody thought, is he on IR? Like, what the hell's going on? And then he showed up on Monday. Just practiced.
Well, and then McVay in the post-practice was basically like, it's day to day. It's week to week. We're not going to answer any questions on it. We'll just see how he feels. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks. He's gonna be. We're being fully transparent. I don't think you are.
He really talks like he has just taken that espresso shot every time when he's answering a question.
Just hyped up, man. He's got all that pre-workout ready to go
right before passes through to the media podium.
Speaking of which, totally random note. Did you see there was a golfer? I didn't know this was possible. There's a golfer that claims he overdosed on creatine.
No, I didn't see this. You're going to have to explain more to me because I actually lost a classmate who did do too much creatine.
Like, actually passed away?
Yeah, he died.
Yeah, this guy didn't actually die. He got off to a horrible start this weekend. Ben Griffin. He said he overdosed on creatine, and it was why he had such a bad start to his final round on Sunday. That he put it in his. He said he put it in his water bottle, and it didn't break up, and he swallowed one of the big chunks, and it gave him he couldn't contain his excitement, and he was just bouncing.
Creatine doesn't do that.
I
pre-workout does that.
I'm just reading what he said. You don't need to attack me.
How bad was it?
He got off to a horrible start. He carded a double bogey, I think, on each of the first 3 holes of the day.
Sounds like a normal golfer.
He had a 7 on the first hole. 7 on the first hole,
Okay.
a 6 on the second hole, salvaged a bogey on the third hole, and then I think he double bogeyed the fourth hole.
I take creatine, and I've never once had it like. What did he say it did?
He said he filled up his water bottle with a snowball of creatine, and when he
Okay.
took his first sip from the bottle, he swallowed a massive chunk.
Okay.
And he said, I've never overdosed on creatine before, but I think I did in the moment because I didn't really drink any water after that. I basically just inhaled a snowball, so I started getting super shaky, and I've never felt like that before. I had tremors.
Never had that experience of creatine.
He
I
said
get it when I do
four-putted
pre-workout.
1 and 2, like I was freaking out and didn't know what to do. Like I hit it so far out of bounds.
Pre-workout will make your skin itchy and
Yes.
kind of give you jittery. Like you got to start moving, and if you don't, it'll just keep doing that.
It's been a long time since I've taken creatine. I don't really remember what it feels like.
I don't. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess I do it every day. I don't feel anything.
You still
like
take
that.
creatine today or now?
Yeah.
Yeah, still
I
on
do.
sauce. Huh?
You do like 5 to 10 grams.
Look at you.
It's good for you.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Keep taking that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I thought creatine was really bad for you.
No. Too much of it can be, yeah. I mean,
you sure
you're
about that?
overdosing on creatine. Again, I lost a classmate in
Yeah.
high school over it.
Yeah, I thought it was bad for your kidneys.
No, not a small amount.
Oh, okay.
You're totally fine.
All right, that's good
I
to know.
didn't see that, though.
Yeah.
Blaming creatine for
Said
your
he
yips.
said he overdosed on
Okay.
creatine, and that's why he was terrible at golf for the first 3 holes.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that excuse next time I shoot a 97. Did
That's
too much creatine, guys. I'm sorry.
That's the reason why.
Yeah.
I shot a 108 today. It's too much creatine before my round.
I love when you play with a bad golfer who you know they've scored poorly, and then at the end of the round, yeah, I just didn't have it today. And everybody in their mind is like, you never have
You
it.
never have it. That's
You're
every
not
round with you. I play with you all the time. You always shoot a 94. Yeah, I know you're only 1 or 2 shots away from an 88. That's golf. That's what you do every time you play.
Oh, man. All right. We'll have a little bit more on football. We'll get to some. I want to ask Dirt a duck question at 7 a.m. So we're back with more Dirt and Sprague on 105.1 The Fan. Ask a duck question to Dirt coming up here at 7 a.m. Tim O'Malley's going to join us. Notre Dame is number 9 on the Dirty poll. Just something to kind of direct people towards at some point today. If you get a moment, there's a really good article on The Athletic. So in 2019, I ran Hood to Coast, and when we got to Seaside, me and a couple people had hours to burn, because if you get there first, you have to wait 5 to 6 hours for your second van to finish, right? And so to just kill time, we rented, I can't remember how, but we ended up renting like a golf cart.
Oh, that's cool.
And we just drove around a little bit and had a lot of fun with it. And I'll never forget being on the back of the golf cart, somebody else driving. I opened Twitter, August 2019. Oh my God. Andrew Luck's retired.
He retired.
And it was jaw-dropping.
Yes. One of those moments in sports, I think a lot of people remember where they were. That's just like a
is
quarterback in his
me.
prime,
Yes.
had just gone to AFC title, and you're like, wait, what? It shocked everybody.
It is a good read. Zach Kiefer, I'm trying to get him on the show for Dirt for Friday since I'll be out. It's a great read. It basically is Andrew Luck thought he was going to be a quarterback till he's 40, 45.
Yeah, just play forever.
And just the kidney shots, the shoulder shots, everything physically that happened to him, it took him away. He just could not physically endure it anymore. He loved the sport, but he had fallen out of love with the sport.
Yeah.
And as quickly as he retired, he said he basically got jealous and had all these urges to want to play again. And he would watch highlights and he'd watch the Colts games, and he just was like, damn it, am I making the right decision?
Yeah, that's a hard one to live with.
And he didn't know what to do. And so he's like, I got to be connected to the game, despite reading concrete books. And so there's a funny little story about trying to get a job through Stanford. And Stanford HR was like, hey, man, we need a resume. And when he wrote his resume, all he could write was starting NFL quarterback.
That's all I got. Football. I did football for a while.
He got a lot of references from like people, within organizations.
Yeah.
And he wanted to learn how to do this general manager job for Stanford. And he went and talked to like Brad Stevens and Sam Presti, and he picked brains of people of how to recruit kids in high school and what was working and what wasn't working. It's just a really good read of a guy who, I'm telling you, I've seen some highlights out of Stanford camp, and I'm just buying into Stanford turning this around a little bit, mainly off of the video vibes. I have no evidence that they will.
Video vibes are always strong in training camp.
But he's running it. Like every video you see of somebody talking in front of the team, it ain't Frank Reich. It's Andrew Luck.
I think they've been very vocal on Frank Reich. We just needed somebody.
Yes.
We needed a person here for a year.
We need a grown-up in
to
the
call
job.
plays
Yes.
that has been here before, but Andrew Luck is the guy who's in it for the long haul at that program.
Yeah.
And he's the one that's going to be responsible for turning it around. Not as a head coach, but as a general manager behind the scenes.
And he's doing everything behind the scenes of like how to get guys paid, because Stanford wasn't really doing it very well. Like
They fell
Stanford's
behind.
behind the 8 ball.
They absolutely are. I mean, a guy who retired at 29, who was at the time considered a top 5 quarterback in the league, who had been to an AFC championship game. I was at a buddy's house, my buddy Spencer. We were watching, there was a college football game on that night. I want to say it was Miami versus somebody, but I remember we got together to watch. It was one of those week 0 football games.
Yep.
And we were watching Miami, Florida. I can't remember who was playing, but I remember we were in his house hanging out watching, and the alert came up that he had retired, and everybody was shocked. Famously, O.J. Simpson 2 hours earlier had drafted him number 1 overall in his fantasy draft, and then he retired 2 hours later. O.J. gave us a classic for that one. I don't know if you'll ever see that again, because quarterback play and these guys make so much money and they're such big stars. Like, that would be akin to Joe Burrow right now, just coming out today and being like, peace. I'm out. I'm retiring. I'm never playing again.
I wouldn't say never, just because of the shots. I mean, the physical toll that
it
game
takes
had on
such
his
a
body.
unique individual,
It
though, to
does.
do it. Like, how many quarterbacks have gone through the first 7 years of their career without consistently being injured?
Oh,
It just doesn't happen.
I mean, it's tough, but
Every single one of them is like Lamar's missed time. Burrow's missed almost an entire season. Herbert's played through who knows what. Mahomes has constantly got an ankle injury and all. I mean, these guys are all getting shots and surgeries and constant things that are needed to keep them ready to play on Sunday.
it's also officiated incredibly different from even when he played,
Sure.
which wasn't that long ago.
2018 was his last year.
It's a really good read. It's a nice little memory lane. Like, it's Hood to Coast week for me. That will always be a Hood to Coast memory
Yeah,
for me.
you'll always connect the two. The benefit of him is when you're Andrew Luck, you can always have a job in football. So you miss it, you'll
Right.
find your way back to football, and we'll see if he can turn Stanford
He
around.
basically said I had to be the one to fire Taylor And he's like, it was my call. It's not the athletic director's call. He's basically saying in this story, the athletic director doesn't run the football program at all. It's me.
It's the new GM role in college football.
I'm looking forward to see if he can turn this around. It's just his way to stay connected to the sport because he truly does love it.
Yeah.
It's sad, but also just a great read of somebody being vulnerable, honest, and finding their way forward with something that they really love that they can no longer, unfortunately, do themselves. Yeah. So you can find that at The Athletic. Loaded second hour. I have this big duck question for Dirt. We'll kick off the second hour there. 105.1 Dirt and Sprague on the Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, an NFL preseason game with both starting quarterbacks seeing time. Joe Burrow played into the second quarter for the Bengals, went 9 of 14 for 62 yards and a score. Jaden Daniels got the first series with the Commanders, didn't throw a pass, but he scored on a 14-yard scramble. The Bengals get the 31-17 win. Elsewhere around the NFL, Rams were glad to see quarterback Matthew Stafford back at practice on Monday. He's missed most of training camp dealing with a back issue. Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson came back after missing 25 days with a hamstring strain. And the Dolphins have agreed to a one-year deal with veteran pass rusher Matthew Judon. 3 Ducks named to the AP College Football Preseason All-American teams. Senior transfer cornerback Dylan Thieneman from Purdue earned first-team honors. Running back Makai Hughes, linebacker Mateo Uiagalelei named to the second team. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on Network.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2. Dirt and Sprague here on 105.1 FM, The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. If you miss any of the hours of any show, you can catch it on YouTube or at 1051thefan.com. Is that the website? I've never...
Yes, it is. We've changed our website.
I have it officially right, 1051thefan.com. Okay, good.
That is correct.
Good to know, good to know. We've got a former player of a team that continues to hate the team he played for in the city he played in.
Oh, okay. That's an interesting thing.
We've played a clip from him before. He's stepping in it again. Don't you dare not be good.
Don't you do it.
A lot we got to in the first hour of the radio program. We'll get to here in the second hour as well. I want to ask Dirt a duck question. However, I was just distracted during a commercial break. I want to break some news for you.
Oh, we got breaking news?
Yes. If you could, Swag, hit me with the breaking news drop.
Got the sounder over there.
Break this. Make sure everybody's ready. Are you ready?
What do we got?
Auburn
Will
now officially claim 9 national championships.
Excuse me?
I'm not kidding. The football team announced that they are now a 9-time national champion. If you would like to know.
How many new were they claiming?
Did they have yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday, they had 5. Today, they have 9.
Oh.
They have claimed 4. Now, let's run through these.
All right, give me the years.
Auburn national champions now in 1910.
Oh, I mean, who could forget that year?
Famously
a big-time year.
The big play.
The huge play. The huge Auburn play that year.
They were already champs in 1913.
Yes.
Okay.
Great season for Auburn.
But now we can say they did it. They went back-to-back. They won the 1914 national championship now.
They were a dynasty of their time. I mean, that was a dynastic run.
Famously called the Big Tree. Everybody remembers where they were at the day of the Big Tree. They were already champions in 1957.
Of course they were.
And now they did it again, folks. They went back-to-back. They are now 1958 national champions.
Holy shnikes.
It's crazy.
This is one of the best programs in the history of college football.
They won it in 1983. They won it in 1993. And now, oh no, wiggle room, elbow, Pete Carroll, get out of here. Joint champions in 2004, according to them. And, of course, they won it in 2010.
I'm going to do something that's actually a bit crazy. I'll defend the 2004 one.
Well, officially the AP poll, which was the most famous poll at that point, it was USC won. Auburn did get 3 first-place votes, and they were number 2 that year.
They went undefeated that year.
And
they
we
were left out of the national championship game.
Yes.
That was a time. Think about time in the sport. They went undefeated that season.
Is that Cadillac Williams?
No, that's before Cadillac Williams.
Okay.
Jason
Campbell?
Jason Campbell sounds right.
Okay.
They went undefeated in the SEC, 13-0, won the conference championship game, and they were left out of the national title.
Who did USC play that year?
Let me look that up.
In 04.
That was still BCS era, right?
That was still the BCS era. Yeah, I'll find the USC opponent.
God, I don't remember who USC beat in that game.
They killed Oklahoma in one of them. Was that not the Oklahoma game?
That was Oklahoma.
That must have been the Oklahoma season.
They won in 2000, and they lost in 04 then.
Yeah, 2004 National Championship Orange Bowl. USC beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
55-19. Vacated, so they didn't actually win the game.
Oh, is that the one that got vacated?
That's the one. I mean, that's the only one they have, I think.
Oh, I thought they
in the Pete Carroll era, right? Am I wrong on that?
I didn't remember the title count.
They
won
to Texas.
They lost to Texas. The next year they lost to Texas, and they almost won back to back.
Gotcha. Okay, that's
and
what
they
it was.
lost in the national championship the next year.
Leinart Bush, right?
So technically, Pete Carroll never won a title.
Okay, so if you're all right. if you're going to be okay with 2004, then shouldn't we not care about 1910, 14, or 58?
I mean, those are just stupid. It's meaningless. Who was the program that did that a couple of years
Oklahoma
ago?
State.
Oklahoma State.
Oh, thank you.
They
I
actually
remember.
hung banners in their stadium.
And I imagine Auburn's going to do the same thing.
Yes.
They want They want a banner in their stadium that says 9-time national champions.
Signage recognizing the national
how
titles
are
will start
they-
going up inside and around Jordan-Hare Stadium today.
You cannot claim a national title prior to like 1960. They just don't count.
And, dude, we've talked about this before. You can't claim a title. I mean, you can.
You can't.
But there's a part of me that's like, prior to the 14 playoff?
So where Dirt was right, not real
Oh, I
titles.
didn't say
huh?
you were right. You're a hater.
Where
You're an
Dirt
absolute hater.
you didn't actually win a national
the
championship.
04
You won a
one,
bowl
were they-
game, and you were voted number one. You didn't actually win a national championship.
Well, in 04, now, were they number one in a different poll somewhere?
Not
'Cause
to my
there
knowledge,
were-
no.
There
I
had
cannot.
to have been another poll. Oregon was voted number one in 2 polls last year. If they wanted to, Oregon could do this.
Are you talking about the Wolf?
Go
thing?
look at the Auburn press release. They're
Hold
literally citing polls like this that
Okay.
voted them number one, and that's why
There
they're
was the
giving themselves
old-
national
so there was,
championships.
something called the UPI poll, United
Yes.
Press International, that eventually became the
In
coaches'
2004
There's a loophole to this, which is why they're able
Yeah.
to claim 4 more than they
In
actually
2004,
have.
several polls, including the Darryl Perry and GBE college football ratings, had them the number one team in the country.
Stop it.
And that's how they're claiming a national title.
Stop it.
So that's what they're doing. There
Not
was
a
a
fan?
metric in a poll that ranked them number one. I have no issue with that. If you go undefeated in a power conference and you're left out of an opportunity to play in a national title and then you win your bowl game, I have no problem with you claiming a national
So
title.
you're okay. So in the
I don't know if they would have beaten USC. I wouldn't have picked them to. USC that was such a good
was
USC
a
team.
juggernaut
I think
USC
USC
team.
would have probably rolled Auburn, but we'll never know. They never played the game. That's no different than teams who claimed titles in the 1990s, who went undefeated, won their bowl game, but didn't play the number 2 team in the country.
who would you have picked to win that game? If
I
they
would have picked
played?
USC to win that game in a heartbeat.
So if
But it
your
never happened.
But if your team's lone national championship came in the year 2004, and then Auburn announces today that they are now co-champions,
We're claiming it.
I think you're calling it out ridiculously, aren't you? A little bit.
I mean, yeah, probably a little bit. If it's
I think
my
the
team
1910
included, but
one and 58
all that's
one
just
is
stupid. That's just
dumb.
ridiculously dumb. Anybody who wants to go back and do that in their history books is just you're rewrite. Like, why? For what purpose?
For more signage.
It makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah, it
Auburn
does.
football.
Now they're
Like,
9-time national champions. They're not 5-time
the bigger
national
Auburn
champions.
story is Hugh Freeze coming out and saying we're going to play 3 quarterbacks in our first game against Baylor because none of them have been good in camp.
You think that's bigger than being
Dude,
9-time
they're
national
playing
champions?
3 quarterbacks in their opener, and they might fire their coach halfway through the year.
Well, he's got a tea time.
He's throwing his visor on the ground because none of them are making the right reads. Like, this could be a dumpster fire. They can't pick a starting quarterback.
They asked him for clarity on his play calling assignment that you had brought up on the show the day after we talked about it, and he basically could not defend it. He's like, well, I got a lot of respect for so-and-so, but, like, if I don't feel it, I'm going to call something different.
Yeah.
So they were like, so you're calling it?
Why wouldn't you just call the plays and then have input? Hey, guys, what do you feel we should do here? And then they give you suggestions. That year, Auburn, though, they beat number 5 LSU, number 10 Tennessee, number 8 Georgia, number 15 Tennessee, and then in their bowl game, they went to the Sugar Bowl and they beat number 9 Virginia Tech. That's an undefeated season. If you go undefeated in a power conference and you're not awarded the opportunity to play for a title or in a playoff, I have no problem claiming a title for that season.
So what's the biggest story? Cam Newton's number retired, 9-time national champion, or Hugh Freeze having 3 quarterbacks?
Ooh.
Because Cam Newton became the 4th player to have his number retired at Auburn. Pat Sullivan, Bo Jackson.
This Auburn segment right out of the gate today.
Well, I didn't expect it, but I saw this,
Yeah.
and we made fun of Oklahoma State for doing this, and now you're defending Auburn doing
I'm
it.
defending one of the years. All the other years is dumb, and they deserve to get made fun of. But 2004, I will defend.
But you only defended if you think legitimately they were as good, if not better
No,
than
it's
USC.
not it. They weren't given the opportunity, and they went undefeated.
Well, but USC can't control that
That's
either.
not USC's fault. I'm not saying it's USC's fault.
The BCS didn't think
We used to have
computer-wise-
2 national champions in the same season.
Yeah.
That's
But
how
then we
the
had a
sport was.
BCS game.
We did, and they went undefeated, and they weren't allowed an opportunity to play in the game,
The computer didn't say they were the second best team.
which is dumb. We decided it by a computer. So I don't have an issue with that. The other ones are ridiculously dumb. They're the same as Oklahoma State. I'd say the biggest story of all 3, Cam Newton should have had his number retired a while ago. They didn't let people wear number 2. That was the biggest story.
It was the Brandon Roy number. Nobody could wear it, but it wasn't retired.
The biggest Auburn story is their quarterback situation because Hugh Freeze legitimately is going to get fired this year. It's going to happen.
They're going to hire John Gruden. We know where that's going.
That's going to be awesome. Like, that's great for college football. I want John Gruden in the sport.
Really?
John Gruden in college football is awesome for college football,
Oh.
without a doubt. There's not a single negative unless he sends emails.
Well,
there's not a single negative
I mean, dirt.
unless he puts his emails on a public
Unless we
reading forum.
publicly know what he's privately saying, there's not a single negative other than that.
I mean, all of us could get fired for the things we say privately. His just happened to be aired in front of a national media and all the emails were released. Him coaching college football, I think, would be a lot of fun. Hugh Freeze is going to get canned. And
It's
the fact
the most
that
obvious thing.
if they come out and play 3 quarterbacks in their opener, when was the last time a college football team did that? Like the split thing we've seen, like, hey, we'll give you a quarter, we'll give you a series, give you a half and a half. If they end up playing all 3 guys in their first game of the year, that's wild stuff.
I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised that you're defending the 0-4-1.
How is that any different, though, than years past?
Well, I just think the difference, I guess, would be like
The system was different, I'll
whether
grant
you liked
that.
the system or not.
Yeah.
We did have a national championship game.
And my whole argument would be that it highlights people have been doing this like longing for the BCS era with this 2018 playoff
Well, it's
rumor,
'cause
which
they
will
hate the
never
committee.
happen.
Yeah.
Acting as if the BCS was this golden child of the sport when you had scenarios like this. Like this was before the SEC started their whatever it was, like 12 straight national championship run that they went on.
Yeah.
And so the SEC wasn't quite considered the same. Like USC and Oklahoma making the title that year shows you how different the sport was in 2004. But I also find it laughably dumb that we can punish a team for going undefeated.
Well, I mean,
Like they went undefeated in the SEC and didn't have a chance to play.
I don't think it was like a punishment. I just think whatever the metrics they used, which was like a million of
Some
them.
stupid computer algorithm that said USC and Oklahoma were better than
Well,
them.
what was Oklahoma that year going into the
They
game?
were all undefeated. All 3 of them were undefeated.
I mean, so like,
All of them were deserving
was the
of
Big 12 better than the SEC that year?
I can't tell you the 2004 Big 12 rankings.
Well, clearly the computer thought so.
yeah, they clearly did.
See, like when you get to the voting one, I'll have fun with you on that one. I'll jokingly defend Washington for it because they're co-champions, and people will knock that down and say, well, according to like 12 writers, whatever it was. I think when you get to the era of having an actual game called the national championship, whether Auburn was the second best team, the third best team, or the best team, they weren't in it. There was an actual national championship game. You can make fun of Washington and say, well, you're co-champions with Miami. They didn't play a championship game.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, Earl likes Washington and Bob likes Miami. We can poke fun at that. Teams are still going to claim it. We had an actual national championship game. I think if your team had beaten Oklahoma in 2004, you'd have a real problem with this.
I would say claim whatever you want. You're not getting a trophy. They're not giving them a trophy.
That's the other
for
part
this.
is the trophy is in SC.
Claim whatever. Well, it's actually not because it got vacated. They took the trophy away.
Where would they put the
It's
trophy?
at an NCAA headquarters somewhere. So maybe Auburn will get a trophy out of this.
College Football Hall of Fame.
That's a difference, though. Like back in the day when you had a split, like the last year of non-BCS, we had a split national championship. It was Nebraska and Michigan won the title in 1997. They each got a trophy.
But more people, you know what's funny about that, and I could be way off, it feels like more people remember Michigan that year
that's
than
your childhood.
Nebraska.
That's your childhood speaking.
Okay.
That's your childhood.
Well, you have
because
family
you
with Nebraska, though, too.
Sure, but that was, Nebraska was a dynasty then.
That was
and
the tail
they beat
end,
Peyton
right?
Manning in the
Yeah.
Orange Bowl. They killed Peyton Manning
That's
in the
right.
Orange Bowl that year. You just were, and I was too, a huge Michigan
I was a
Charles
Woodson guy, yeah.
and they were playing in the
And
Rose Bowl,
they
which
beat-
we're more connected
yeah,
to. Like
right.
that was a big time game.
Yeah, you're right there.
I think that's the difference. So, like, I don't have a problem claiming it. The NCAA is not going to send them an old BCS national championship trophy for this.
Doesn't it make you look kind of stupid then? It's a little dumb, right?
I understand the argument. I just am I'm defending. They went undefeated. Like
No, I hear you. I
Like
hear
if
you.
Oregon came out and tried to do this from 2001, they lost a game.
Yeah.
They could blame them. They should have been in the title game, but they lost a game that year.
Sure.
And that's why they weren't in it. Auburn literally didn't lose a game.
I know.
They went undefeated all year.
Yeah.
In the SEC.
I guess I just want to know who was it in what room that was like, hey, we need to claim 04.
It's a really embarrassing look. For all of them together, it's a really embarrassing
And that's
look.
kind of my point. You
Yes.
might be right in the grand scheme of like they should have been worthy of it. Okay, I don't remember 04 every game, every moment. Hey, we're 9-time national champs now. It's like, you guys are losers. Why are you doing this?
Yeah, if you put all those banners up on your
I think it's a way to distract
stadium,
from the
like,
three quarterback
I think it
news.
absolutely is. This is a don't look over here, look over here. Look at our proud history.
Don't-
And we're going to lose by 21 to Baylor in our opener.
Don't worry that we're currently a disaster.
We're going to pay Hugh Freeze $20 million to not coach anymore in like a month and a half.
All right, well, we'll move on. Let's get to the Duck thing. We got derailed there by Auburn football. Who had that on the show sheet? I didn't.
Like somebody said, according to Dirt, UCF is a champion. That again, like it's not apples to apples. They play in a lesser conference.
Did they though?
They went undefeated. I don't mind teams claiming a national title to go undefeated. Let's not compare UCF to going undefeated in the SEC.
That was one of my all-time favorite national champions, that UCF team.
That UCF team, Scott Frost.
Didn't they beat Auburn?
Hang the banner. I think they did in their bowl game.
In the bowl game,
I think
coincidentally,
they
they beat Auburn.
I think
There
they
you
did,
go.
yeah.
All right, let's get to the duck question next on The Fan. On the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started. It is a Mail Sack Tuesday, so get the Mail Sack questions in at 503-864-6326. We'll get to that in the 9 a.m. hour. The Mail Sack is basically any question you want to ask us. Feel free to shoot it in there if you're on the YouTube chat, the fan text line, whatever it may be. We'll get to a number 9 Dirty Poll stop of Notre Dame.
The Fighting Irish.
At 8 a.m. with Tim O'Malley, covers Notre Dame, good friend of this program. So he'll join us for the Daily Ticker at 8. You looked up during the break that we had this in 2003.
Literally the year before, yeah.
This literally has happened the year before, which I told you, I think in like 02 to 05 is a haze for me in terms of remembering certain elements of the college football season. I watched it, but I'm like, what? Who?
02 would have been the Ohio State Classic national title over Miami.
I remember that one.
Then
the worst injury I think I still have seen ever in my life, because I don't know how Willis McGahee's leg didn't fall off.
Yeah, that was the Miami-Nebraska game, I believe. Am I wrong on that?
I thought that was Ohio State.
Was that Ohio State
Miami.
that happened? Miami beat Nebraska the year before. Then it was Ohio State in 02. 2003, we had the same exact thing. Thanks to the listeners for pointing this out.
Yeah.
So in 2003, you had 3 one-loss teams at the end of the year. Your 3 one-loss teams were LSU, Oklahoma, and USC.
Yeah.
They all were one-loss teams. They were all conference champions. The BCS decided that LSU and Oklahoma were the top 2 teams in the country, and USC finished number 3 in the BCS rankings. LSU, with Nick Saban, beat Oklahoma 21-14 in the national championship game. They had a national championship game. But at the end of the season, because USC beat number 4 Michigan in the Rose Bowl, it was either the coaches poll or the AP poll voted USC number 1, and the other one, and the BCS voted LSU number 1. And so in 2003, we have a split national championship in which USC did not play in the national championship game, but they are considered national champions of that year. So they got a trophy.
College football has been stupid forever.
Long time.
How about that?
Very stupid for a long time.
I wanted to ask you this. We're kind of almost to lockdown mode. I mean, Oregon's already kind of in lockdown mode. Oregon State basically is closing their practices now. They usually open it up a little bit more.
Games are a week and a half away.
It is, yeah, it's game prep week, right? Like that's why some of these quarterback announcements got announced, is they want these guys to be with the ones and get all the one rep and be ready for their week 1 opponent. I was just thinking yesterday, like, we do a lot of conversations on coaches in college football. Largely, I would say out here, it's been very complimentary for one Dan Lanning. And so I was just thinking yesterday, I went and ran some errands on my bike. I enjoyed a nice Diet Coke in a parking lot, and I just was pondering college football stuff.
Diet Coke hits the spot.
Diet Coke.
10 times out of 10.
It's elite.
10 out of 10.
What will we learn about Dan Lanning this year? He's still very young, but he's going into season 4.
Yeah.
He's recruited at a very high level the entire time. Like, what's an area that you're looking for with Dan Lanning this year as a coach? Whether that be, I don't know, clean up or improve in this area, or what will we learn from Dan Lanning as a coach? Or does Dan Lanning have nothing to clean up and nothing like other than just let the Jimmies and the Joes take a step forward?
Just get the X's, get the elite recruits.
Well, we do this with Ryan Day. We did it with Harbaugh before he won. Can he win the big one? Like we're doing this. Brian Kelly is being questioned. He's been to a national championship, although to some, maybe not the year he should have been there because, you know, the voting. But like we've done this with every coach.
Yeah.
Every coach. And he seems to be one outside of this bubble that people do ask about Dan Lanning or have opinions on Dan Lanning.
Can he do it? Can he do it? Can't do it? Can't do it. And then he does it and you say, oh, I guess he can do it.
I mean, I know his approval rating with Duck Fan is through the roof right now. He's like untouchable, and I totally get why. I'm just asking you, like, what are we going to learn about Dan Lanning this year?
So I think there's a couple things. Well, either positive or negative, right? Like there's 2 sides of every coin. I don't know how their season's going to go. I'm very optimistic, and I think the proof is in the pudding on why I should be optimistic, but there's 2 sides to every story. I would say from a overall 30,000-foot view of the program landscape, what we can learn about them is they have reached that elite status. Now, that does not mean they're going to win a national championship this year. Oregon is returning 5 starters from a year ago. 5 total on both sides of the ball.
Of 22.
I think they have 1 returning starter on offense. I think Poncho's the only one. Maybe I'm wrong on that. They had other guys who played as the year went on.
Right.
But essentially 1 or 2 starters on the offensive side of the football, 1 or 2 starters on the defensive side of the football. This is almost a completely new starting all 22. If Oregon finds a way after that offseason and setting another program record of NFL draft picks in April to have a 10-11 win season, compete for a Big Ten championship, maybe win a Big Ten championship, win a playoff game or two. I'm not saying title or bust. I'm just saying be, again, one of the elite teams in the sport. I think then they have silenced any question of them reaching that level of every year you're going to send 9 to 10, 11, 12 guys to the NFL draft. And every year you're going to backfill with blue chip recruits who are ready to pick up the mantle and run where they left off. And that's where the programs like Georgia have been for a long time, where Alabama was under Nick Saban, it's where Ohio State is. Like the elite programs, you lose guys and you're like, God, Georgia won their first national title. Kirby was a coach who everybody said, could he win the big one? He can't beat Nick Saban. Then they did. Remember how many guys from that defense went to the NFL from that landing year where he was a coordinator
loaded,
there? It was
yeah.
like 8 of the first 40
Right.
picks or whatever were Georgia defensive players.
Look at the Eagles. The Eagles are basically
It's all Georgia.
in the NFL. Yeah.
And what did we say that offseason? I remember I said it myself of like, how are they going to replace all that? They lost everybody. And what do they do the next year? They won the national title again. They just show that like when you recruit, you backfill, it's elite talent that's coming in for elite talent, and it never stops. Some years you're better, some years you're slightly worse, but your low water mark is 10-2, maybe a 9-3 at worst.
Sure.
And your high water mark is 11-1, 12-0. I think that's the overall picture that he can show. I think on a more specific angle, it would be that his recruiting strategy from the day he got into Eugene ultimately paid off. And that being, I think the point of emphasis from him from day one has been, I came from Georgia. I just won a national title. What did Georgia have? They had a dominant defensive line. They were big. They were physical. That's how you win football games. That's how I want to win football games here. And in his first 3 years at Oregon, he spent a lot of time and effort finding the biggest bodies possible on the defensive line. Almost every big defensive lineman on the West Coast has committed to Oregon over the last 3 years. And those guys have now been on campus for 2 to 3 years, and I think they're ready to shine and have a dominant season. And I think from that positive angle, he can show you all that effort, all that energy, all that development I put into these guys. They're ready to go showcase it and be a nasty defensive line that can carry us to our highest of expectations this year.
I guess I want to ask you then, because you kind of teed everything you said with the positives and the negatives. What are the negatives
I think
for
the
Dan
negative
Lanning
would
for
be,
people?
I think this year, if things don't go according to plan.
Like, what's their floor? Is it 8-4?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming if we're not dealing with any big health stuff, a lot of us are like, whoa.
8-4, you're right.
8-4.
Where did that come from?
Right.
If they go 8-4 this year, I have a lot of faith all over the roster. The biggest question mark is quarterback and what kind of play you get. And so I think if they do have a
you don't think it's receiver and then like combination of offensive line, like being a new group together?
The offensive line I'm not that scared about. Maybe I should be, but I'm not.
Despite how it started last year, huh?
Despite how it started last year. I mean, they have a combined, now not all together, so there's going to be some communication stuff they got to figure out. I think it's like 120 career starts on their offensive line. Like, these guys have all played.
Yeah.
It's not guys who are coming in fresh or freshmen or whatever the case. The receiver room might be the thing that holds them back from like, hey, we won a Big Ten championship but couldn't win a national championship because we didn't have a Jeremiah Smith. Like, that might be ultimately what keeps them from reaching the ultimate goal. I don't see them hitting their floor because of the wide receiver room. If they do, it's because they don't get good quarterback play.
So the negative.
And that would be the negative of, hey, what happens when you don't have a guy who started 60 career games?
Right.
Your offense doesn't function at a high enough level. They can't carry the weight for bad defensive performances. They can't. You're not a balanced football team the way that you have been in years past.
And so the negative of Dan Lanning
would be
for you.
You need a reliable quarterback, and can he do it without a guy that's proven at that position?
So, okay.
And that would be the question mark going into the next offseason.
If Dante is shaky, it's going to be, okay, tough for you to do this unless you got that 3, 4,
you won with
5
Bo,
year
you won with
starter
Dylan,
guy.
but
Right.
those guys had started 50 to 60 games,
Yeah.
and Dante has 5 career starts, and evidently you need an experienced starting quarterback. I think that would be the negative thing that you learned this season.
Okay. I was just curious. I was thinking about it. I'm like, I know largely in our area he gets nothing but praise, and he's done an exceptional job. I'm not one that sees a blowout to Ohio State and I go, he can't do it. Like, it obviously can't feel good to be a fan of that team and watch that happen to you.
Not fun, man. He's 35-6 in 3 years.
Yeah.
And 4 of the 6 losses have come to the national champion or the team that played for a national championship.
Right.
The only 2 games he's ever lost to a team that did not appear in the national title game was the Oregon State Beavers when they blew the big lead, and the Washington Huskies in year 1 when Penix beat him and Bo got hurt at the end of the game.
Right.
Those are the only 2 games he's ever lost in his career to a team who didn't play for a national championship.
Oregon State may never beat Dan Lanning again, but they got one.
They got one.
They got one.
You got the
before it
first
all went
one
to
ever.
hell.
The first First one ever. You won it.
Yeah, welcome to the rivalry.
That's right.
Never mind the games after that. They don't count.
You had those orange cowboy hats, man. Everybody was rocking them.
Hey, you know what?
That was a dark day.
I poo-pooed it, but it ended up being the thing that won,
It was
so whatever.
That was a dark day in Oregon fandom.
We have a lot more to get into. Mail sack at 9:15. Dirt and Sprague back with more. But first, Jason T. Swigard with a sports update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, Jaden Daniels saw his first action of the NFL preseason. Might be his only action. He played just one series, didn't have to throw a pass, but he did score the Commanders' opening touchdown with a 14-yard scramble. Joe Burrow played into the second quarter for the Bengals, completed 9 of 14 passes for 62 yards and a touchdown. Cincinnati would go on to win 31-17. Elsewhere around the NFL, Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford participating in the entirety of practice on Monday. He's missed most of training camp with a ongoing back issue. Vikings were glad to see wide receiver Justin Jefferson back on the practice field. He'd missed 3.5 weeks with a hamstring strain. And the Dolphins have agreed to a one-year contract with veteran pass rusher Matthew Judon. Mariners road woes continuing in Philadelphia. The entire Phillies lineup had a hit by the second inning of a 12-7 rout. Game 2 of that series coming up today, 3:45. Bryce Miller opposite Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Seattle starts play a game and a half behind the Astros in the AL West. They are tied with the Yankees and the Red Sox for the 3 AL wildcard slots. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard for the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of
We're rocking out here on a Tuesday edition, Dirt and Sprague, on Portland Sports Leader 105.1 The Fan. Shout out all our great female listeners in the Battleground area. Morning, ladies.
Morning, Cynthia.
How we doing? How we feeling?
Karen, good morning.
Have we stretched?
I hope so.
Got to stretch.
We'll ram jam you on this. We're not going to play any Katy Perry, but we'll ram jam you.
It's a hell of a band name.
Yeah.
I refuse to get to the... God, I shouldn't say that. I wouldn't be shocked if at some point during the show we do it. There's cuts trickling out of this cowboy crap from Netflix.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it?
Planting the flag. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to give Jerry what he wants. He doesn't deserve it.
Okay.
I don't care. That was 30 years ago. You were good 30 years ago.
Well, no,
cool story.
So this series is not what I thought it was. I think it's a combination of past glory and modern.
Oh, so nepotism and we were good 30 years ago?
So
that's what the documentary's about?
There's like one cut that's circulating where he's talking to the Rams president, and they're talking about the trade of Jared Goff. And basically they're all, having fun, smiling, laughing. And Jerry says, quote, I don't have the balls to put it all out there the way y'all did on that quarterback. I won't do that. The Rams president instantly stops smiling and just like, we're on camera, and you would say that.
Yeah, because it's a soap opera, and that's what he wants.
Jerry also has a quote about why he's the general manager and refuses to give up that power. He says, I like the pain. People ask, Jerry, why don't you give it to somebody else? A painful job. I like the pain.
It's because he's a narcissistic egomaniac.
I can't believe I'm doing this because, I wouldn't quit my team per se. Every day I get it.
I'd stop rooting.
Every day I get why Swag does it. And anybody out there that calls Swag out, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror a little bit.
I couldn't go to a new fandom. That would be too weird for me. I would just be...
I'd be a big NFL guy.
Yeah, a big NFL guy waiting for Jerry Jones to die.
And I'm not all in diehard.
I'd be rooting for his old ass to keel over and just pass away any day now, which he's going
to. The Cowboys. I get, yes, it pleases me when they just... bad things.
Well, I've realized this about myself too. I still, I just went to San Francisco or Santa Clara and watched my team. That was a very nostalgic moment to see these images and be there. But when my team is eliminated, which they very well could be in 3 weeks because they're injured, what's happening there? I'm going to move on to the next fun thing that I care about as a football fan.
You'll find another rooting interest.
I was asking myself last night, this will show you my fandom, okay? Because I will say that, if I think the Niners are good, I will tell you I think the Niners are good. If they're bad and banged up, I'll be like, yeah, it's a disaster right now. If my team is eliminated, I think I'm going to gravitate towards rooting for Jaden Daniels. Caleb Williams. I think I will find myself rooting for NFC teams.
Interesting.
So, I'm a fan.
Same conference. You wouldn't go to a different conference.
If my team's out of it, what do I care?
Commanders and Lions in the NFC title game. Who are you rooting for?
Well, I'm rooting for the Lions. I still...
I do love me some Dan Campbell.
Yeah.
Commanders and Bills in the Super Bowl. Who you rooting for?
Josh Allen.
Bills.
You have to, right?
Yeah,
Buffalo. Come on.
Now, Josh Allen, Lamar... I'm leaning Lamar.
You leaning Lamar there?
Dude, Lamar's good. What do we
He's
still
great.
do these
He's won
dumb
2
arguments.
MVPs.
I know, but we do these dumb arguments. You don't want to play on game?
I mean,
you want to play on game?
he's won a handful of playoff games at this point in his career.
Wow. I don't know if it's a handful.
He's won.
How many do you got?
Who, Lamar?
They were just in the
Josh?
AFC title game 2 years ago.
They started the divisional round, though.
They did. They won a playoff game last year.
Yeah.
They won. He beat the Titans a couple of years ago.
Does he? Ooh.
They definitely beat the Titans.
How many does he have? What's your guess? A handful means 5.
I would say 5.
I think he's got 3.
Lamar?
You think he only has 3 playoff wins?
They had a couple one and dones.
I know they did. Let me see.
Sprinkle that in there.
So last year they won 1.
Yeah.
The year before they won 1, so that's 2.
Yeah.
The year before it was 1 and done. The year before they didn't make the playoffs because he was hurt.
Yeah.
The year before they won. They beat the Titans.
He's 3-5.
And then
So
the
he's
year
got 3.
before they were 1 and done.
He's got 3 and 5.
They got 3. They got 3 playoff wins.
So not as many as you think.
Almost a handful.
That's my point.
3 is
though.
technically a handful. You can have 3 hands and be a hand. I mean, 3 fingers and be a hand.
I'd be torn though because I do love Josh Allen. I need you to pull what he just did. Your brain broke.
You're like, what?
Your brain just broke.
What are you talking about over there?
No, but I think I really enjoy Jaden's. I don't know, man. He just seems so fun. If I was a Commanders fan, I'd be through the roof right now.
Yeah, it's the only sport where we watch everybody. Every other sport we watch our team, and that's it.
Yes.
And in football, you watch everybody.
But I think what I'm telling you is most people don't operate how I'm operating. I think Seahawks fan is a sicko, and if Seahawks are done, it's like, I hate everybody. I think,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think
that.
a lot of fans exist that way.
Yeah.
This is per ESPN research, because I was reading a story about Cam Ward. And
Got a fight with a defensive lineman yesterday.
Simmons,
Got
the
fight,
best one.
You got to fight in practice.
You don't fight a defensive tackle. I don't know what he's doing there, but
That's smart there.
I love the fight that he's showing. Per ESPN research, teams that start rookie quarterbacks are a combined 431, 655, and 2. That's a 397 winning percentage in the NFL's 32-team era, which is since 2002. Jaden Daniels and the Commanders last season were one of the biggest exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
Like, of all time.
Yeah. Doesn't happen.
And so, like, I think that's what's
rarity.
fun about it.
Dude, there's no doubt. He's an awesome guy. He's so fun to watch. He runs around. Even last night in a preseason game, he's rushing in a touchdown. He's getting the ball for a teammate who scores his first touchdown. Like, he just seems like a genuinely good dude to root for. I'm all for it. I gotta wait a little bit until I root for you at that level, though. There's other guys that deserve it more.
What?
Like, if he's playing Josh Allen in a Super Bowl, it's not even close to what I'm rooting for.
But you're going Super Bowl. Give me, like, he's playing Matt Stafford in Week 7.
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't have a rooting interest there. Then my gambling interest is my rooting interest.
Well, that's fair.
I'm not rooting for a different team. Like, I don't care who wins that game unless I gambled on them.
But you can't root for him because he's only year 2?
Not in the playoffs, no. Like, I'm okay if he wins one. It's an okay outcome. I'm not upset about the outcome. But if he's playing somebody who's been around longer, who hasn't won one, I'm rooting for the other guy.
Really?
I am, yeah.
Oh, I go for the more fun matchup. I want the best matchups possible.
Yeah, like if you give me, like last year, I rooted for the Bucks in the playoff game because I'm a Baker guy, and I was rooting for Tampa going on a run with Baker. I think would be a lot of fun. Like there's a lot of cool stories in the NFL. Baker's been through some ups and downs. He doesn't have as much time left in his career. When they played the Lions in the playoffs, I was rooting for the Lions. That was the Lions' moment. That was their year, and they let it slip through their fingers in the divisional round.
Much like you yesterday on the show said that Patrick Mahomes wasn't very good.
No, he sucks. He's mid.
I will give you a take that would not make, I think, Chief fan happy, nor Eagle fan. So, like, I root for matchups, right? I think last year, if Josh Allen and the Bills get past the Chiefs, I think the Super Bowl is actually a good game. Styles make fights to me.
They do.
And I watched that dude operate at an MVP level, and I think it would have been so different a matchup for them than what the Chiefs ended up being. Like, I think that game is better. I don't think it's nearly what that game became if it's the Bills versus the Eagles versus the Chiefs versus the Eagles.
Can I give you, by the way, somebody's going to hear that brief comment on Mahomes and now probably send in an angry text thinking that I actually think that Patrick Mahomes sucks, which is what I love about radio. I'll add a little bit to that.
Yeah.
This might be a dumb comment for people. 3 is technically a handful. You can have 3 hands and be a hand. I mean, 3 fingers and be a hand. I think you got to cut that down. You can have 3 hands and be a hand. I think should be the drop.
Right
That's
there,
a pretty good drop right there. I don't know if the Eagles play as good in the Super Bowl if they don't play the Chiefs.
No, yeah, that's kind of. Yeah.
I think that was part of it.
I think
for
it's
them
kind of
like,
the same thing we're
they
saying.
They lost heartbreaking fashion, had a down year. Everybody made fun of them. Now we're back. That was their revenge game against Kansas City, the team that beat them in the Super Bowl.
Now their D-line absolutely wrecked the Chiefs.
No
in
doubt
that
about
game.
it. No doubt about it.
So it's easy for an Eagle fan, I think, to say, "Oh, that's a dumb, stupid take break. We would have blown anybody out."
Well, you didn't blow out the Rams in the divisional round of the playoffs in the snow at home, so you didn't blow everybody out.
Styles make fights, man.
They do, and I don't think you get that level of. I think the Eagles probably still win the game. I think they proved at the end of the year completely they were the best team in the NFL. I know, hot take there for you.
If you go back and check our shows, because I don't remember everything I say, I vaguely remember being basically like, I get why everybody's taking the Chiefs here. I absolutely believed the Eagles could win and potentially would win that game. So I didn't watch that and go, oh my God, they won?
Yeah.
I would have felt differently if it was the Bills.
I did that in the style in which they won. That was the only, oh my God, like, wait, what? Not surprised the Eagles won. It was 34-0.
It was over so quick.
It's a lot of good teams fall down 34-0. It happens. Sometimes you don't have your best day.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people have been there.
You gotten over it yet?
A lot of people have experienced that. Give me a week and a half. Montana State comes to town, we'll flush it.
You need a 6-0 Duck start.
I
need
a
to get
77-0 win in 10 days, and then we'll slowly move on.
Let's get to some more NFL nuggets before we go to our number 9 team on the Dirty Poll. Dirt and Sprague back with more on the Fan.
It's time for Who's Stinking It Up.
Woo! Do not Go in there.
A sports lowlight, ripped from the headlines.
We couldn't do diddly poo.
Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services. Schedule your appointment online at threemountainshome.services.com.
And a high fly ball to deep left field. Arozarena doesn't even move. It is long gone for JT.
That was Tom McCarthy, NBC Sports Philly. I was going to ask, who was that? Because everybody got a hit yesterday against the Mariners in Philadelphia. That was JT Realmuto. Home run, 6 runs, second inning, 21 total hits for the red-hot Mariners.
Love that Softy went from saying they're the team nobody wants to play in the American League to then saying, what, you guys thought they were going to win every series the rest of the way? Calm down.
Wow, calm down.
That's a quick turnaround and takes there, about 8 days apart.
Who's stinking up the Mariners last night in Philly? Brought to you by Three Mountains Home Services, making it easy for you to save big on an AC tune-up service special. $59. Schedule online at threemountainshome.services.com for a $59 AC tune-up. A great deal. They make home services delightful. Here's Bill from Three Mountains with more info. We got Tim O'Malley coming up here at 8 a.m. I always see O'Malley. I think Mike O'Malley, and I think of the show Guts that used to be on Nickelodeon. Guts.
It's a great throwback right there.
Swag, you missed a golden era of child's television. I got to be honest. You're a little too old. You had like the Saturday morning cartoons.
I mean, he wasn't watching any of that anyways. He was watching game shows. He wasn't one. They had kid shows when he was a kid. He just didn't watch them.
Yeah, but they didn't have game shows like we had.
No,
game
it wasn't
shows.
quite the same.
Double Dare,
but
Guts.
He was watching Jeopardy over there.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Can I get American historical facts for 500?
No, we had High Rollers, which is what Alex Trebek did before Jeopardy.
Okay.
Which was it was basically throwing craps and answering really bad trivia questions.
Well, that seems like a fun show.
Still not better than the shows we had.
No slime getting dumped on you if you lost.
Oh, dude, the slime.
The slime.
Or being pied.
I always wanted to get slime.
I always wanted to be pied.
You wanted to be pied.
I want somebody to take a big pie and just bam.
We could do that for our Sprague and the Line punishment. Who's got slime and pie?
Let's do that. It's easier. It's your fault I haven't paid off one of those bets.
It's kind of your fault, Take the onus. Take the bull by the horns. You lost the bet. Figure it out.
That's not how all that was set up. We started that bet, but okay. I'll take the onus. So we had some breaking NFL news. I don't know if it was classified as breaking.
Oh,
no, I saw the tweet. ESPN Schefter tweeting it out. With
Everybody, we got a lot of breaking news on the show this morning, man.
Do.
We're all over the map.
Adam Schefter is reporting Daniel Jones will start week 1 for the Indianapolis Colts.
I actually did talk to Daniel Jones.
What are they doing? Look, we know he's not good. We know neither are good. But we know
who ends up taking the most snaps for the Colts this season.
Riley Leonard.
I think that's going to be the case.
I just don't.
What are we doing?
I don't have an answer.
Look, I'm a Colts fan.
I don't have an answer.
And I know a Colts fan, and I'm telling you, he's pretty checked out. If I'm a Colts fan, I know that dude's not good. I also know Daniel Jones equally not good, and he wasn't our 4th pick. We're going to go down, and we're going to be bad. I want us to at least try it with Anthony Richardson as many games as we can.
I want him to crash into the side of the mountain.
Absolutely.
Like, this needs to go horrifically bad for 8 weeks, and you say, oh, my God, this guy should never play another snap in the NFL.
100%.
And now we'll move to Daniel Jones because we just can't possibly continue to play this guy. It's been so bad.
No, then we move to Riley Leonard, and then we fire Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen.
This is the weird territory you get in when...
I'm so pissed if I'm Ballard.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane how bad Daniel Jones has been. He's horrible.
I feel like
it's a big sample size, too.
I could be reading the wrong intel here, and we'll talk to actually a Colts guy tomorrow. I feel like this is an indication that the general manager and the coach are in different wavelengths.
The last 5 years, his touchdown pass totals, remember, he had 24 as a rookie, and everybody thought, hey, look at that. Giants could be pretty good. Daniel Jones looked good. The 5 years following that, he threw 11 touchdown passes, 10, 15, 2, and 8. He had 8 touchdowns and 7 picks last year, barely completing 60% of his passes. He has 70 career touchdowns to 47 career interceptions. And this is a guy who got an extension. He's not a non-extended rookie deal ran out, team moved on from him. He got an extension because he won a playoff game a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but that was an extension that everybody outside of Giants fandom was like, dude, I think you could do this without him, but okay.
You're in that weird territory where you have a coach and a general manager who are trying to keep their job. And when you're trying to keep your job, what do? You want to win as many games as possible. And they would argue that Daniel Jones is better than Anthony Richardson, and he gives them a better chance to win games.
Very well could. Maybe that's
their argument.
Surprised,
I think it's dumb.
Right?
I think it's stupid. I think he's terrible, and the Colts are going to suck. But that would be their argument.
Well, for all the defensive teams that have to make these not easy decisions like the Giants did a couple years ago with Daniel Jones, for all the Giant fans that are like, well, what are you supposed to do there? He won a playoff game. I would say, did we watch the Vikings last year? What did they do?
They moved on.
They said, no, thank you.
See you later.
We can do this with the next guy. Now, will they? I don't know. Darnold might prove to be,
I think he had one more year left on his rookie deal, too. I think because first-round pick contracts are 5 years, 4 years with a player option.
Sure.
And that was his 4th year in the NFL.
They rewarded him for, what did he throw, like 11 touchdowns that year?
15. Barely threw for 3,000 yards, and he had 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, and so they rewarded him for it, and you could say, well, you got to do it. Well, the Vikings did, and Kevin O'Connell's a pretty good coach. coach last I checked. So
yeah, I think it was pretty clear to watch them and say other pieces were more important to their winning, and Daniel Jones was just a part of it. And if he's going to ask for more money, you say, no, thank you.
I don't know how much Colts conversation we're going to have going forward for the football season, so that might be it, unless they're just so comically bad and they play quarterback, roulette.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I'd be lost if I were a Colts fan. The good news is Daniel Jones sucks, so you should still suck. I just wish you would suck with a different quarterback.
Riley Leonard.
Sure. Why not? Give him a shot.
We'll get to the mail sack at 9:15 to get the mail sack questions into the fan text line 503-864-6326. We'll have more football stuff to get into, but we go to college football next. The number 9 team on the Dirty Poll, Notre Dame. Tim O'Malley joins us hour 3, Dirt and Sprague on 105.1 The Fan. Hey, Dirt and Sprague here, hanging around. Just kidding. We're not going to Tim O'Malley yet.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, NFL teams starting to make arrangements for the start of the regular season. The word out of Indianapolis is that the Colts, according to ESPN, have named Daniel Jones as the Week 1 starter September the 7th. The Rams know who the number 1 starter is. It's Matthew Stafford. If his back will cooperate, he finally got on the practice field on a Monday. The Vikings were happy to see Justin Jefferson back on the practice field. He missed 3.5 weeks due to a hamstring strain, and the Dolphins, trying to shore up their defense, have signed veteran pass rusher Matthew Judon to a one-year contract. 3 Ducks named to the AP College Football Preseason All-American teams. Senior transfer cornerback Dylan Thieneman from Purdue gets first-team honors. Running back Mekhi Hughes, linebacker Mateo Uiagalelei named to the second team. Mariners road woes continuing. They get blown out by the Phillies 12-7 to open that series. Game 2 coming up this afternoon, 3:45. Bryce Miller opposite Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Seattle still just a game and a half behind the Astros in the race for the AL West. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of Ducks Game Day. Before and after every Ducks football game this season. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM. In this wide world of sports, some stories can slip through the cracks.
Now, before we do this, let's go over the ground rules.
Pelican Brewing presents the Daily Ticker, where Dirt and Sprague hit the big stories you've heard about, and some you haven't.
How'd you do that? Actually, I'm not even mad. It's amazing.
The Daily Ticker on the Fan is poured by Pelican Brewing. Experience your hops differently with Hard Hops Blackberry Hops Infused Hard Seltzers.
All right, hour number 3. We start with the Daily Ticker, as always, brought to you by our wonderful friends at Pelican Brewing Company. Experience your hops differently with Pelican's new Hard Hops Blackberry Seltzer, infused with strata hops and made with real blackberries. Hard Hops are available now at a store near you. The Dirty Pool rolls on. Into the top 10 we go. Notre Dame comes up next in our preview of the college football season. And joining us now, a good friend of the program who's come on, I feel like every year that we've done this to preview Notre Dame football and talk about their upcoming season, Tim O'Malley at Tim O'Malley ND on Twitter, Irish Illustrated. Tim, good morning to you. Let's get to the elephant in the room. We're going through the same thing in Eugene. Who the hell's the starting quarterback going to be? Where are we at on the battle, and do we expect a starter to be named prior to the opening game?
Yeah, it sure is an elephant in the room because it kind of hit ahead this weekend when a lot of sites, I think, got the same information that it was going to be Kenny Minchey. Well, Notre Dame kind of refuted that. Everyone still believes it is Kenny Minchey, which as of mid-August is not an upset. As of July 29th, before camp started, is stunning. And as of February is one of the greatest upsets I can remember covering Notre Dame football. That is shocking. He was definitely third behind Steve Angeli and C.J. Carr, or C.J. Carr and Steve Angeli, I should say. Had a great spring. It was still just like, oh, good for Kenny Minchey. He put himself in the running. Now go ahead and name C.J. Carr. This didn't happen for C.J. Carr.
Yeah, what do you think is happening based on what you've heard? Like, how does this happen? How does it go from this is a sure thing, he's going to be the starter, to now he's the backup? Like, what has transpired in camp that you've heard?
Yeah, what we have almost universally heard at Irish Illustrated is they did expect going in, and this is good for the staff because everybody has preconceived notions. They expect C.J. Carr to take it. He didn't do it, and it became it was always told to us as a true competition. And well, clearly they kept their word on that because as he wasn't taking it, Minchey was playing well. Apparently Carr's interceptions just kept happening too often. We saw we didn't see much practice, but the first practice, C.J. Carr threw 3 picks. One was an amazing play by a redshirt freshman safety. One should have been caught, and one was a bad pass. Well, that's 3 picks. You're like, all right, it's one game, it's one practice. They're not really even wearing pads, but apparently it did not dissipate. And we heard when they had their big Jersey scrimmage Sunday that he threw 2 red zone interceptions as well. The key is when I say these things, they were not allowing media in there, but this was several sources that were in there, and I think it was just persistent, and they could not. Marcus Freeman's got a heck of a defense in a running game. You can't turn the ball over and expect to win the job.
Interesting. Yeah, that would be a big upset. It seems like everybody's had C.J. Carr as the starter, even who doesn't follow Notre Dame football for a long time. It's like, oh, okay. I saw these reports last week. That's why I was curious to start there. I mean, on that note, we're talking with Tim O'Malley, Irish Illustrated, Notre Dame number 9 in the preseason Dirty Poll. It's interesting because a lot of teams atop the sport are going through this same conundrum of breaking in a new starting quarterback. Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, right? Like you go up and down the sport. Notre Dame is included in that. The difference between some of these teams, like at least Oregon plays Montana State in their first game, and so you can kind of ease into it. You guys go on the road to Miami, and then, oh, by the way, you get A&M in week 2. So how do they feel about the rest of the roster picking up for a new starting quarterback? Like just how do they feel about those first 2 games breaking in a new starter?
Yeah, that's the thing that's kind of vexing for Notre Dame fans because this is the best roster they have had since the middle of the Lou Holtz era when Lou Holtz was winning. It is deep everywhere. The running backs are deep. The wide receivers are better. That was really the only position of note last year that wasn't playoff worthy. Jaden Greathouse broke out against Penn State and Ohio State, so that's playoff worthy. But he hadn't done that all year. They love the offensive line. The secondary, 2 years in a row, they've been number one pass efficiency defense. They could be again this year. They think their linebackers are better. They're going to rotate 4 in 2 spots. Their new nickel is a transfer from Alabama. I mean, they love this defense. They love the running game. They want the quarterback to do no harm, but that's getting a little frustrating for Irish fans because C.J. Carr's got a great arm. Kenny Minchey, all they talked about Kenny Minchey when he first got here was his gunslinger mentality, and he can put a ball in any window. And now I don't know where the narrative came from that he's more of a check down guy. All of a sudden is the narrative. So I don't know what we're going to see. It's amazing what the internet can do to perceptions of people that don't watch them practice. But how recruiting rankings go versus reality. But I don't think Kenny Minchey's a check down guy. But it is definitely a situation where all these Notre Dame fans are probably thinking to themselves, can we just hit Riley Leonard for 2 more games? Then we can move on.
Well, okay, so stylistically, we don't really know what to expect, I guess, from the quarterback position. Everything else is stellar. Then what is the expectation? It's playoff, right?
Yes. Yeah, we've been talking about it quite a bit this year. Playoff and a playoff win. You expect to host a playoff game the way it works now. I mean, now Notre Dame could actually get a bye the way things are going to change. But winning a playoff game was kind of the low-end expectation, I think, for Notre Dame fans. I feel like, realistically, when you get to the quarterfinals, you're running into a top-tier SEC team or you're running into a Clemson or something like that. So that just matters on the matchup. I mean, one of Notre Dame's biggest wins in decades was beating Georgia in the quarterfinals, but it still would have been a successful season had they lost to Georgia in the quarterfinals. So I think you have to kind of reel that in. I think it'd always be disappointing if you lose a home playoff game in South Bend on December 20th. That just seems like if you get to the playoff, you should be able to beat a team that comes up there and plays you in the 20-degree weather.
Right.
They're waiting on you. It's kind of. I don't think anyone really wants to sign up for that game of all the playoff sites that are possible, that are probable.
On this note of how talented their roster is, they have arguably, I don't even know if it's a debate, the best running back in the sport, and Jeremiah Love back for another year, 17 touchdowns on the ground, had this breakout season, over 1,100 yards. We saw him in the playoff with that, that 98-yard touchdown run against Indiana, averaged almost 7 yards a carry. The sky's the limit for this kid. What are realistic expectations for him in the kind of year that he can have this year?
Yeah, in good health, he'll be fantastic. He'll be the first running back taken. They do love their reserve running back, Jadarian Price. He's a home run hitter. He complements Love because when he's in there, he's not as tough of a runner inside as Love. He's not as good of a receiver. Doesn't pass block. Love's a great run blocker, actually, but Jadarian Price can hit one big, and he often did. He actually helped beat Texas A&M in the opener with one. He helped beat USC in the regular season finale with one. He's a great piece to help Love because then Jeremiah Love, he won't win the Heisman because he's not going to get quite those numbers. He's not going to get the ball like Ashton Genty did, but he can be healthy for the whole time, and that's really what they want. He is the only guy I've ever heard come into a program and say, they recruited me so I would be fresh for the NFL. We expect to share carries, and he is totally fine with it. He's an interesting guy. He actually, for Notre Dame, you have to put your name in for captaincy. They announced 6 captains yesterday, and he was not one of them. So everybody, that means he probably did not put his name in for captaincy, but he is just tries to lead by example on the field the way he plays. I mean, he inspires them, as you saw in the Penn State game with one of the best 2-yard runs since Walter Payton. He's one of the best players I've seen at Notre Dame, and he'll have a great year healthy. But I don't think you're looking at one of those 20 touchdown years or your 1,500 yards. I think it's just going to be, you look at his numbers and say, wow, well over 7 yards a carry and 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns will be a garden variety great year. Probably nothing like historic, where I just don't think they feature him that way.
It's pretty crazy to think, Tim, but not that long ago, you get Brian Kelly leaves to go to LSU, and I think a lot of people watching the sport are like, damn, Brian Kelly's a good coach. He's going to go to that place. And then Marcus Freeman sending 10 players out back-to-back times against Ohio State, and you're like, what's happening here? And they get in the national championship game. I'm just curious, what has changed for Marcus Freeman in such a short period? Because for many years, recruiting at Notre Dame was always like a controversial topic. It felt like it's not easy to get kids in Notre Dame the way it is other schools. They seem to be thriving. I mean, they've got all this talent. You talk about bringing guys into the portal. Like, how has this evolved for Marcus Freeman in such a quick turnaround period where you kind of wonder a lot about him, and then he's in a national championship game, and now he has the most talented roster since, as you said, Lou Holtz?
Yeah, he definitely learned from first and second year mistakes, and obviously actually from a pretty big third year mistake, because while they don't claim things were different in practice week when they lost to Northern Illinois, most players seem to suggest that there were some issues there where they were not quite as focused as they were on the Texas A&M game prior. But Freeman, he has absolute faith from the administration. I think that's big. They've really embraced NIL. 2021, 2022, it was a joke around Notre Dame how their NIL program worked. They weren't going to get anybody because you could love Notre Dame as much as you want, but if someone else offers you $900,000 and they say, come play for Notre Dame and have a successful life thereafter, most guys are going to take that $900,000 and also maybe have a successful life thereafter at the college they go to. So they now are very heavy in the NIL. It is more about retention for them. That's why you don't see giant splashes other than the quarterback and Riley Leonard and Sam Hartman. It's more NIL retention. He's recruiting. If Marcus Freeman's in your living room and your parents, you're probably putting your faith in Marcus Freeman. I think he's a great closer, and he demands recruiting from his staff. And they've done a great job. They never really finish in the top three as they're slated right now by 24/7 Sports. Usually the Georgias and Alabamas and Ohio State swoop in, but this might be one of those changing classes where the guys they brought in last year, there was a lot of freshmen involved in that run to the championship. So they're sophomores and juniors the next 2 years. They feel like they have another class coming in like that now. And I think the key is, if Notre Dame is off to a good start, maybe watch and see what happens when they're playing a team like Purdue or a team like Pittsburgh or BC. Can they stay focused and avoid that stub toe? Because remember, he lost to Marshall, he lost to NIU, and people forget he lost to a terrible Stanford team his first year. Like, I say Stanford, it doesn't sound as bad, but Marshall was better than Stanford. Marshall was actually better than Stanford.
That's such a good point, though, on last year's Northern Illinois game, because they ended up having such a great year. It became kind of a forgotten footnote, and you're like, that's right, we all eliminated Notre Dame in week 2 right after they beat A&M. They came home and lost to Northern Illinois. How did they possibly do that?
It does also seem unfair, Marcus Freeman stepping into a living room after, like, fill-in-the-blank ugly coach. Like, that guy talking to somebody's
he smells
mom.
good. He's a good-looking guy.
God.
Like, yeah, I'm signing. We're giving the dotted line. What is the season? This is a challenging schedule for them. We mentioned the first 2 games of the year on the road at Miami, home against A&M. Mike, tell the story. You got a ranked Boise State team in there who might be in the playoff. USC, as always, on the rivalry front. What does the win-loss record look like for Tim O'Malley?
Yeah, it's funny because you figure the best way to get to the playoff if you're Notre Dame is, let's say you're going to lose a game. Well, don't lose one of the first 2 because then you exit the first couple of weeks as a top 3 team of the country. Don't lose to USC because I don't know if you guys followed, but USC and Notre Dame had some off-season drama going on. They cannot lose to USC this year. Like, Notre Dame's general manager left and talked badly about Marcus Freeman's, or not badly about Marcus Freeman, but he wanted more credit. He said it publicly. No Notre Dame fan.
I didn't see that drama. He left and then kind of threw him under the bus.
USC might cancel the season. I mean, it might cancel the series for next year. There's no game on there. It is the Notre Dame crowd for that will look more bloodthirsty than you've ever seen. So don't lose to USC.
Okay.
It's that triangle of games where this is kind of strange for Arkansas. Arkansas week 4. This has been planned for a long time. Notre Dame goes to Arkansas week 4. They come home and play Boise, and they play NC State before USC. It just feels like one of those games with viable teams is going to have a really good day. And Notre Dame's got a new quarterback, and as you guys know, quarterback growth for a young guy is not linear. He's not going to get better every single week. Something along the way, there's always some type of regression when there's more film on him. If I was picking out a loss, the first loss I would pick out would be in that little triangle of Arkansas, Boise State, and North Carolina State prior to USC, because I do not think they will lose to USC this year. It's a strange thing to say because games aren't played, with all emotion. That goes away after the kickoff, but that is going to be nuts. It might be the final game of that series.
Tim, I didn't see the general manager story. I'd seen the USC stuff and following that. We've got a coworker that is a USC fan here. I'm just curious. All I've seen is some of the loud noise of Lincoln maintaining that he wants the game to happen.
But he doesn't.
But he doesn't. But Notre Dame is like putting all the onus on USC. Could you just help explain this to us as quickly as possible, like how the situation got to this point and ultimately your prediction of will that game end up dying?
I understand it a little bit from USC's perspective. I don't think you should let Lincoln Riley choose it, though, because if Lincoln Riley's 8-4 and 8-5, he's not choosing anything down the road. So I think it's maybe prudent for, USC's brass to make these decisions. But if the Big Ten goes to an extra conference game, do you need Notre Dame to help your strength of schedule, and do you want to fly out there in mid-October? I get that. I think Lincoln Riley and USC are thinking to themselves a little bit, hey, we're happy to play you in Vegas instead of coming to South Bend. You guys can come out and finish your season here. And I don't think that is realistic for Notre Dame's. I think Notre Dame's any place, anywhere, anytime, but we still want you on our campus every other time. I think the way to save the series now would possibly be a neutral site game in 26, and then maybe they can figure something out when there's a little more clarity on how college football scheduling will go. So I think cooler heads will prevail and we'll find a way to play. I think people will live. Well, remember, they didn't play during COVID, and the sport continued for Notre Dame and USC fans. They brought it right back up. If you play 3 out of 4 years, maybe that's good. Home, away, neutral, and you have to miss one because, USC at some point may end up traveling to Michigan and then home and then Michigan State and then back to Notre Dame and then Ohio State. That's suboptimal for them as well. So I get it from their point of view, but college football rivalries are important, and it's kind of weird when I have to watch the Civil War in September. But, at least they're still playing when that's happening.
Yeah, it's weird for us still. When it's 97 degrees out and they're playing, that's supposed to be the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and it's supposed to be 38 degrees and piss and rain. So a little weird for us, too. Tim O'Malley, Irish Illustrated, covering the Irish. Big season for them. Sounds like there might be an upset at the starting quarterback job. Go give him a follow on Twitter at Tim O'Malley. And always appreciate the time, man. Can't wait for college football to get here, and thanks for the update on the Irish.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
There you go. Tim O'Malley.
One of the best, man.
He's awesome. He's great at what he does. His point, first off, the quarterback stuff's interesting. We can get to that. I also saw a take on college football that I'm wondering if we agree with coming into the year that I was going to get to coming up next. I'm just glad that he brought up the one thing, and this is what I've argued. If USC decides that we don't want to play the game because Big Ten schedule, travel, blah, 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 I think it's bad for the sport, but whatever. Do not let Lincoln Riley make this decision. I think that's the thing that
I don't think they're going to let Lincoln Riley make that
decision. I would hope not. But we also had Washington go to Kalen DeBoer and say, what do you think about this Pac-12 TV deal? And then a year later, he's the Alabama head coach. I'm just saying, if from an administration standpoint.
I think you pick his brain. I don't think you're actually basing your decision on what
I'm fine with that. You can get his input in the room.
Sure.
We have no clue if he's going to be the head coach there in 3 years. Whether that's winning and going and taking another job, whether that's going 7-5 and getting fired. Yeah. You don't listen to the advice of people who will not be around your program for a long time.
Sure. I kind of agree with him. I don't want the game to not exist, but I don't want my Pac-12 conference to cease to exist, and here we are.
It's the reality we live in.
It sucks, and you can blame USC. Notre Dame does get to live a nice life of independence. They get to pick and choose what conference opponents from the ACC they get, or I don't know who picks it, but
I don't think they pick and choose, but
dabble,
they play a small chunk of ACC every year, yeah.
And so, some years their schedule is incredibly difficult, and I give them credit for that. They also have other years where it's not because certain teams are in the dumps. I understand the USC argument. It's the Indiana argument. Why are we making our schedule hard if we're rewarded by having a better record?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get it. I get their side of it.
It's
no
terrible.
doubt about it. I saw, by the way, interesting note on their quarterback battle. We'll get to that and how big of a surprise that would be.
Yeah.
Also, a take on the way we experience the sport, and do different games matter more now than maybe they used to?
Also, we had a coach just come out and not only defend his decision on the starting quarterback. He just said something that I think the fan base is going to run him out of town. I don't know if I think he's going to get booed when he shows up for his first home game.
Let's get to that next. Back after this 105.1 FM, The Fan. All right, welcome back in, 8:24. I'll kick my college football question here a couple minutes down the road to the bottom of the hour.
Sure.
Which, by the way, we got the mail sack coming up. I'm an idiot and put in the tease last night's stat or story. Maybe I was just tired. Got my days of the week wrong.
It's okay. I woke up at 3:35, and I woke back up at 4:48.
Hey, good morning. I'm ready to go. No, I'm not. Okay, we gotta go. Time to get up. So get your questions in to the fan text line, 503-864-6326. We have a head coach that's saying something about a starting quarterback decision in the NFL.
Yeah, so I don't want to, give another segment because they're such a bad team, but
I think this deserves it. I think this quote deserves it.
Well, it's just pretty wild, man. Look, the Colts announced that Daniel Jones is going to start for the Colts, not Anthony Richardson. By the way, that's going swimmingly well on social media. And Shane Steichen, according to Joel Erickson, who covers the Colts, quote, on naming Daniel Jones the quarterback, he's the starting quarterback for the season. I don't want to have a short leash on that. So it will be Daniel Jones if he's healthy all year long. The Anthony Richardson era, though it wasn't great, it's not going to get a third year. And
it's done. You trade him. At this point, there's no point in having him on the roster.
Does Steichen make it through the season?
No.
He is right now. I think he just, because of this announcement, I want to make sure I double check this, but I thought I saw something that, because of the announcement, he shot up to the favorite to be first coach fired.
If he throws 3 picks in the first week of the year against Miami, why would you bury yourself with a quote like this? Just come out and say, we feel like Daniel Jones gives us the best chance to win right now. We'll reevaluate the position as the season goes on.
He did initially, and I think somebody said, okay, but how are you going to balance? Is there, and he basically was like, no, this is it.
This is the quarterback for the entire season.
This is the quarterback.
God. Have fun with that,
How many teams right now could we go through?
Yeah.
And legitimately you would say out loud, I love football. I'm not looking forward to my team's season.
If I am a Colts fan.
Okay, so let's do this by AFC East. The Dolphins are this.
Dolphins are definitely there.
Are the Jets that?
The Jets are, but at least you have the argument of a first-year head coach and a fresh start. There's a new hope. The Jets are. Did we see the Justin Fields highlights this weekend?
Yeah.
Dude, in a preseason game. He can't complete a pass in a preseason game.
No. Tomlin replaced him for a reason. Okay, so in that division,
Dolphins
we would say
for
Dolphins.
sure. If I'm a Dolphins fan, there's nothing that excites me about this year. It seems like a dead man walking. Tyreek Hill's going to get traded. Tua's got concussions. No, thank you.
The Browns in the North.
Browns,
for sure.
without a doubt, in this category.
The Colts
have to belong here.
And I would argue, despite being pro this guy, I feel like the Titans are going to suck.
But again, at least you have the number 1 overall pick in the draft to watch. At least that from
but don't you know it's not going to go well?
I know the year's going to be bad. You absolutely know that.
Did you see his highlights?
But at least, it wasn't great.
I watched his game.
Sure. At least you have Cam Ward to be like, if he has a good game and you lose, you're like, at least we've maybe found our franchise quarterback. We might go 3-14, but at least we got our guy.
Yeah, but he might have a new coach next year, so it's going to be another new offense he's going to learn.
You're not wrong, but I think Cam Ward at least gets me excited.
So you're only saying Colts
I'm
for the
only
South.
saying Colts for the South. Okay. Jags, at least you got a new head coach and Travis Hunter. You got that whole thing 2 ways going.
0 teams in the AFC West.
0 teams in the AFC West.
Cowboys just because Jerry Jones exists.
Cowboys fans should be miserable every year because they deserve to be miserable.
And I think that's it because I think Dart has gotten me rejuvenated.
He's
as a
got
Giant
enough
fan.
if you're a Giants fan.
And Abdul Carter.
Okay. I'm all right with that.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
No teams in the North.
No team. Everybody in the North has something to be excited about.
Saints.
Saints got nothing.
Saints,
nothing cooking.
No. At least you got Penix to see. You've got Panthers with Bryce Young. Year 2 with Canales, and Bucks are good.
Would you be excited right now if you're a Panthers fan?
I think you're hopeful. It's the same Jets.
Even though he's
Titans.
going into year 3, you're still like, because Bryce Young did play better when he came back last year.
Well, I mean, I'm not over my skis about that. Everybody else was. But yeah, people are feeling the
Okay.
Panthers a little bit. Maybe McMillan's going to be a stud.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody kind of questioned that pick at 8.
They did. Now he's looking great in camp.
And then in the West, it's...
If I were a Cardinal fan, I wouldn't be very excited. Not that they can't do it.
You haven't seen it.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like
My team's just injury dependent.
Right.
This is a tough place to be.
Yeah, they're living
I
in a
think
hospital
Cardinals
ward
fans
right now.
are ready to pull the parachute quickly.
At any moment, they're ready to pull the chute.
They recognize there's some talent there. Maybe
Unless they trade him, go look at his contract.
Yeah. But
who's taking that?
So
on? We've said that about a lot of players.
They'll be there for the first few weeks, and if it looks like it has, then they're pulling the
Okay, so
parachute.
Cardinals, Saints,
Cowboys, Colts,
Browns, Dolphins.
Browns.
6 teams of
yeah.
fan bases that are like
Nothing. I got nothing. And some of these are like, doesn't mean your team's going to be good. Like Titans, to your point, could be in there, but at least you got Cam Ward. The Jets, I think, are going to be a disaster this year, but at least you have a first-year head coach.
Yeah, but if Cam Ward has a Anthony Richardson-like rookie year,
then you're not feeling great.
58% completion percentage.
You're not feeling great. Halfway through the year, you're done.
You're abandoning. Yeah, you're jumping out. You're pulling the parachute.
I love looking up right now at the NFL Network, too, and seeing they're interviewing somebody from the Jones.
It's his daughter, Charlotte.
What Nepo hire is that? That's the daughter. Okay.
She's earned it.
She's earned her role.
Now, if it was LeBron and Bronny.
How dare Bronny get a spot on a team?
My God.
She's allowed to run the Cowboys, and they're doing an interview about the Dallas Cowboys Netflix documentary. Because, 2 weeks out from the start of the NFL season.
That's what you want.
That's what you want right there. She's got those 3 Lombardis behind her, though. 3 Lombardis right there in Dallas. All right, I got a college football question I want to get to. Will you change the way you view the sport and watch games? I saw this take yesterday, and I thought it was interesting. I don't know if I'm there, but there's a case study to be made. I want to get to that coming up next. We got the mail sack right around the corner at 9:15. Get your questions in. 503-864-6326 for back half of this first-year swag with SportsCenter.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a SportsCenter update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Brought to you by 808 Hawaiian Restaurant. Mixed plates like Grandma used to make. If your grandma were from the Big Island, Woodstock, Burnside, Beaverton, or online at ate-oh-ate.com. First on the Fan. Oh, the NFL's buzzing with all sorts of quarterback news. ESPN reporting earlier this morning the Colts are going to go with Daniel Jones as QB number 1. And head coach Shane Steichen said that's not just for week 1. That is for the whole season. In L.A., Rams fans happy to see quarterback Matthew Stafford going through an entire practice on Monday. He's been out most of training camp with a back issue. Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson back on the practice field following a 3.5-week absence due to a hamstring strain. 3 Oregon Ducks and named to the AP College Football Preseason All-American team. Senior transfer cornerback Dylan Thieneman from Purdue earns first-team honors. Running back Mekhi Hughes, linebacker Mateo Uiagalelei named to the second team. Mariners trying to snap out of their road funk today in Philadelphia. They got housed in Game 1, 12-7. Every Philly in the lineup had a hit by the second inning. Game 2 today at 3:45. They start play just a game and a half behind the Astros for the lead in the AL West. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan. a.m.
Well, it's been a rough week for your sport. Should we talk about that today? You listening to your Andrew Tate podcast? Do you believe history? 8 p.m. start times?
Well, anytime I want to ask my wife a question, I tell you what, I pop on Andrew Tate and I go, well, how is she going to respond to this?
You gauge her interest level and her reaction to Andrew Tate, and then we could have a discussion about stuff.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. You could ask me any player in the NBA, Sprague, you answer this right, you get $1 billion. Because how many players in the NBA? 450?
That's a decent amount, yeah, all the teams.
15 times 30 teams, yeah.
Okay.
450.
Look at that.
Look at that math.
If you said you get $1 billion and you say, who is the one player that you would say absolutely listens to an Andrew Tate production?
Yeah, it's not even close.
I don't even know if I come up with maybe Tyler Hero would be my second guess.
Sure, because he's also been in the news lately.
Michael Porter Jr. would be the quickest response. In the way that people go, who's the GOAT? Jordan. Boom. Like, who listens to Andrew Tate? Michael Porter Jr.
He is legitimately speaking one of the dumbest people on the planet. Like, he's that stupid. Like, the level, we'll get to it. Bad week for him, bad week for the NBA. When it should have been a lot of nostalgia at play, right? Good feeling stories.
You feel good at 11 o'clock at night?
Feeling good those late night start times. I saw this yesterday, and I thought it was an interesting takeaway, and I'm wondering if you guys agree at all with this.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the Sunday night game on Fox, the Bears and who are they playing? Bears and Bills. They had 80,000 promos for Texas and Ohio State.
Yeah.
Texas and Ohio State.
Got me excited.
The biggest for opening weekend game ever, right? Huge game. Everybody can't wait.
Is that how they said?
That's exactly how the promos sound on TV. This was Todd Furman had this take. He does college football stuff, gambling stuff, right? And I thought, you know what? That's an interesting point. I don't know if I'm there, but it's an interesting point. And he said, I'm not nearly as excited for Texas, Ohio State in week 1 as I am for Baylor and Auburn. Now, his argument is, in the 12-team playoff field, similar to what we talked about yesterday with Ohio State, Michigan, what are the chances that Texas or Ohio State are not in the mix to make the playoff at the end of the year?
Highly unlikely.
That either of them or both of them, right?
Be in it, right?
No matter who wins or loses, like whoever wins the game will have a leg up, and we might get a rematch in a playoff game or something. It doesn't mean as much in a game like that as it used to in other iterations of the sport. And his argument is, I got Baylor, who's got a coach who's on a not hot seat, but he's, what are we doing here?
It might be a warm seat.
What are we doing here? We got Hugh Freeze with 37 play callers and 18 quarterbacks coming into week 1.
Right.
And this, is one of these teams eliminated? Are they a step closer to firing a coach? Can one of them contend and compete? And it was basically the argument of, I still enjoy the big games because there's the best players and it should be an awesome matchup. But the outcome doesn't mean as much as some of these fringer, LSU Clemson, and that's even a highly ranked matchup, but Miami Notre Dame and A&M versus whoever, that those games would mean more than a number 1 versus a number 3.
I mean, his point isn't invalid. I just don't agree with it, though.
So the big games I guess the question would be, the big games in the sport haven't lost any of the juice for you, despite the fact that the outcome doesn't mean as much as it used to.
I mean, this is kind of what I said yesterday, though, is the Michigan-Ohio State game. You can say it meant something. It meant something to the fan bases, but it didn't, though.
No.
That is a game in years past that eliminates somebody.
And Ohio State went on to win the national championship.
And they got in, and they had a great, favorable matchup, and they played really well. So, it mattered, but it didn't. And that is an element of the sport that has been taken from us. That's terrible. But I also because football is not perfect. I hated how perfect you needed to be in college football to matter the most.
Got to win every game to have a chance.
There's a balance, certainly, that's in between these two positions. But I just don't agree with the take overall, because that is going to be maybe the best talent against the other best talent.
Yes, could be the two best teams in the sport.
It's the debut of one guy as the new starter who got a little bit of playing time last year, and a guy nobody knows. If we trotted Julian Sand and made him walk around here, I don't know if you could pick him out right away, right?
I probably could.
Who's that guy?
Yeah. Looks pretty skinny, too.
It's defending champion against guy who hasn't won a title yet, but hook him, let's go. So I see his point. I agree with the large kind of sentiment about it, but I still am more excited to see Texas Ohio State
than any other game in week 1.
It's number 2, though.
Yeah.
And the other one I was going to say was what you named. It's a high-level game.
Clemson LSU?
Clemson LSU for me week 1 is the game for me I care the most about outside of my team. Because I think Clemson can get to the Final Four. They've hit the portal more this year than they have any other year combined. They've got another year with Klubnik. Dabo, I'm very curious to see what this season's going to be because I don't think the ACC is very strong. And LSU, I mean, I don't need to explain why it's important for LSU. LSU can lose and still make it. But the minute LSU loses dirt is the minute you go, you have 2 more losses this year, and that schedule bears out maybe 2 more losses.
That one has a higher percentage chance to be an elimination game than Texas or Ohio State.
And that's because if Clemson wins, I think everybody's going to go, if they're not already, Clemson.
Here comes Clemson, yeah.
If LSU wins, okay, here we go. Brian Kelly, Nussmeier.
Right.
If LSU loses, oh my God. Clemson can lose and be okay. LSU, I think LSU's in more danger if they lose.
Yeah, I agree with the take that you have. Like, I'm more excited, clearly, to watch Texas and Ohio State. It's a better game, bigger teams, bigger matchup, and all that.
I'll watch Baylor and Auburn, sure.
I just thought it was an interesting point of, like, that's been one of the knocks of the modern era of the sport is that some of the bigger games don't mean as much as they used to. You enjoy it, and it's more of an NFL system, right? Like, if the Chiefs and Bills play in Week 12 and the Bills win, that's cool. Now, go do it in the play. They're going to play again in the playoffs. You got to go beat them. That's the game that we'll remember. Do we remember more last year Josh Allen losing in the AFC title game, or do we remember them beating the Chiefs as the only? I think that was the only L they took in the regular season until they sat everybody in the last week.
Yeah.
So that was the only team that beat them. That was a massive moment for Buffalo. They had a chance at the number 1 seed and all that. But then they lost the playoff game. So it's more of an NFL system with the bigger elite teams where you watch Texas or Ohio State. Whoever loses that game should be close. They're going to likely still be in the college football playoff. I'd be shocked if either of them missed it this year. Whereas you have these other games. I see your point on Clemson and LSU being like, if LSU loses that game, heat gets turned up on Kelly immediately, and the rest of LSU's schedule is not a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. And so you could easily see them taking another 2 losses and missing the college football playoff again.
I mean, last year he lost to USC, was pounding the table.
He was. He said, I got to be better. I got to be better.
We got to win this game.
Got to win this game.
And USC wasn't even that good.
They have to go on the road to Ole Miss. They have South Carolina at home. They got A&M at home. They got to go on the road to Alabama and on the road to Oklahoma. So if you lose to Clemson, you got to basically have one other loss the rest of the way just to make it.
I think both these teams are also going to have the same wiggle room as the Texas Ohio State. I'll give you another one that I think is not as high profile, I guess, as the other main game, but I think it's another game you'd rather watch than Baylor Auburn. Because I don't think Auburn's going to be very good.
No, that's just more for the comedic aspect of it. Like, if they get killed, does Hugh Freeze get fired on the spot?
Well, I mean, Sunday we've got a Catholics versus convicts game.
We do, yeah.
Pretty big one.
Yeah.
Like, what's the new quarterback for Notre Dame going to look like? Sounds like we don't know based on even talking to a guy that covers them.
No.
And Beck in Miami. Like, I have no idea if Mario is going to pop this year.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff, man. I thought it was the sport's in an interesting spot. I'm excited for all of these games.
Very interesting spot, yeah.
And I'm just, I'm wondering, as time evolves, does our fandom evolve of like, man, that game has a little more juice than this number 1 versus number 4 because I know that both those teams are going to be in the playoffs at the end of the year. It's an interesting take that I saw yesterday in the college football world. A lot of great games, though, in week 1.
Can you find a better game? Because if we don't think Auburn's going to be very good, it's not even like...
It's not that.
It's the fringe playoff teams, right? Like Baylor might be a fringe playoff team.
I think anybody could win the Big 12, so to that point, Baylor could win. Like, that's interesting to me. If I want to go outside of a top 10 matchup and not include LSU, Clemson, I'll give you one on Sunday. Notre Dame, Miami is another prime example of it. I'll give you another one. I think Virginia Tech, South Carolina is this for me. South Carolina's coming into the year. They're in the dirty poll. We'll get to them. They're higher than Notre Dame. Lenora Sellers is getting a lot of pub. They won 9 games last year. They came on like a freight train. Like,
you have them higher than most polls.
Here comes South Carolina. This big moment. They're at home. Virginia Tech.
Yep.
That's a head coach. It's a little bit shaky ground. Are they going to make a move there? Like, that to me is an interesting game for a program who's been looking to find their footing in Virginia Tech. You got Beamer going against the school that his dad coached at, that he grew up going to games at. So I think that's a fun one storyline wise. Let's get to some fun with audio. And a great question that do we have an answer for? That's next, 105.1 FM, The Fan.
AM.
I don't eat the wiener.
You know, Sprague, you're a deep thinker over there.
Am I?
You are. I think you are.
I like to ask people questions that make them think a little bit.
You like to pontificate from time to time about certain things and questions.
Yes. Ponder life's curiosities.
Exactly.
I
Contemplate the causation, you know?
I don't like to talk when I run, but I had a random run last week, and it was a lengthy one, and I don't know why the sudden urge to just talk to people.
That's weird.
Well, I called my cousins, and I don't call them very often on the phone, and one of my cousins, I don't really talk to her about deep stuff very often, and I asked her a question about her dead father. She was at the mall.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get a pair of jeans. I didn't really want to talk about that right now. I'm going to go to Cinnabon here in a little bit. You know, I was having a delightful day.
She answered the question.
And then you called on a run.
I'm in line at Jamba Juice.
Can I get a smoothie? Can I get a smoothie?
I'm getting a green machine, man. What do you want from me?
You know, I bring this up because I think there's another philosopher of our time. There's Brandon Sprague, the philosopher.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's John Crook, the philosopher.
Yes. Oh, John Crook, one of my favorite.
Who,
treasure.
If you watch Phillies baseball, you know, from time to time, he brings up things that you're like, you know, you kind of sound like an idiot, but that's a good point.
Is it?
Let's ask the question.
Okay.
Last night, they're in the middle of beating the brains in of the Mariners in Philadelphia. I think the score was 7-0 at the time.
It was the fourth inning, 7-0.
Yeah, M's ended up scoring a few runs, but they lost 12-7 or whatever the final was. Crook's having a little fun, and he brings this up.
So you know how I think of things when I have free time and I shouldn't?
Yep.
So I was wondering.
Yep.
The person who invented the clock.
Yeah. Which one, the digital or the hand?
The first clock ever.
Okay.
How did that person know what time it was?
That's a really good question.
I thought so.
Bouncer back toward the middle. Gobbled up by Young.
The in-between play right
And they just keep going.
So good.
Safe. You know, there is that sundial they might have used.
Is that accurate, though?
No, this is as accurate as it can be. So when you were contemplating the clock thing, did you come up with any answers yourself?
No. I thought I'd ask you.
I would think sundial.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Now, look.
Tom McCarthy.
I think what I like about
Valid
him
question? Swag's the smartest one of the bunch. Is that a valid question?
Yeah, that's a valid question.
Okay.
And he's not like stuck in like, Tom, did you come up with a solution? No,
I'm just
I didn't.
asking.
I'm just
curious.
I'm just probing questions about history.
Right.
Which we should do.
How do we know they were right?
We don't know.
They had a sundial.
Yes.
But who dictated the time? Why is
when was time as a construct, and like when did that become like the sundial and 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock,
Mayans?
2 o'clock? That was different though. The Mayans didn't have numbers on it, did they?
I don't know.
No.
I think they had a dial for like daytime, nighttime. So maybe a
Do you need a dial for that? It's pretty obvious.
I mean, the sun's yes.
Well,
sun gone.
It's dark now.
Hey, dark. It's dark now.
Well, once it was established that the Earth orbited the sun, which I'm assuming goes back to Galileo.
I would
If my dad's
guess.
listening, I'll get corrected later. But
Papa Swag will chime in on this.
so once that
I don't think he will.
happened-
He didn't care about the planets aligning.
That's true. I think he's punted on science. I
He's
think he's done
still
with
trying to
science.
find his pants.
Yeah, he wants his pants back.
Well, that
You're on your own with science questions now.
I am now.
We don't have
I'll
the help.
see-
the resource we used to have.
My question, that's a very valid thing, by the way. I've never thought about that. Like,
Neither
how
have
do you
I.
know what time it is?
I love that it got brought up in the middle of a fourth inning of a baseball game.
Yeah,
Well, it speaks to how bad the baseball game was, right?
that was a yawner.
I wonder the same thing, but in different ways. Like, who was the person that first tried cow's milk? And how did that happen?
Yeah, whose idea was that?
That's like right from the udder?
Did you go straight from
You
the
saw
source?
it and you wanted to put your mouth on it?
Did you milk it or did you
That's what I'm asking.
right.
Who?
I think you got to go straight to the source if you're the first person that did it. You'd probably see a baby calf doing it and think that if they're doing it, maybe it tastes good. I don't know if you would know how to milk right away. If you've never milked anything before, you wouldn't know how to massage that nipple.
Who's the one that said,
Or
we got to
udder.
eat Rocky Mountain oysters?
Apologies.
You know what I mean? We got to cut those things
That
off.
was a
We got to
dare.
cook them.
That had to be.
That was a
dare.
mistake that happened.
Probably
and then they
a
thought,
dare.
you know what? That wasn't that bad.
How do you have an error in that area with those things?
Of that.
They're pretty massive.
Pretty big. It's a pretty big thing.
I mean, I more wonder food elements. Like, I will always wonder who the berry picker was back in the day that had to, like, be responsible. You got to try it. You got to let us know if you die. You know what I mean?
Millsack coming up
After
at
that
9:15.
You got to be careful, man. We've been warned.
You never
broke
know.
the rules.
You never know. Millsack 503-864-6326. Get your questions in. Sports, non-sports. We'll answer them in the final hour of the show. A couple of the football notes to get to. Let's start though with: do you believe history, and do you make your women listen to Andrew Tate?
Oh God!
A nice week in the association, including an 8 p.m. start time. And we're not going to get inside the NBA until after Christmas? What the hell's going on in the NBA? Start the final hour there next. 105.1 FM, The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, plenty of NFL training camp news related to quarterbacks. Earlier, ESPN reported that the Colts have announced that Daniel Jones will be the Week 1 starter. Head coach Shane Steichen saying the plan is for him to be the starter all season long, no matter what may happen barring injury. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford, speaking of injuries, dealing with a back issue, got back on the practice field on Monday. Wide receiver Justin Jefferson for the Vikings on the practice field. He missed the last 3.5 weeks due to a hamstring strain. 3 Oregon Ducks named to the AP College Football preseason All-American teams. The senior transfer from Purdue, cornerback Dylan Thieneman, earning first-team honors. Running back Mekhi Hughes, linebacker Mateo Uiagalelei named to the second team. Mariners trying to find their mojo on the road. They got housed in the series opener at Philadelphia 12-7. Every Philly in the lineup had a hit by the second inning. Game 2 coming up today at 3:45. Bryce Miller opposite Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Seattle still a game and a half behind the Astros for the AL West lead. It's now a three-way tie with the Yankees and Red Sox in the wild card race. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren & Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Network.
Here's to those who love.
All right, let's do this final hour. Dirt and Sprague here on Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 FM, The Fan.
Like, yeah.
1080 AM, the Odyssey app, live on YouTube. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is a Tuesday.
Catfish!
We all know it's Tuesday. Everybody knows it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. We're having a great Tuesday. Mail sack. Right around the corner. Good questions coming in. We'll answer them in a matter of moments. 503-864-6326. Let's start the final hour of the program today, Mr. Brandon Sprague.
Yeah.
In the association.
Oh, damn.
I would like for you two gentlemen to rank these things 1 through 4.
Sure.
Worst thing to happen to the NBA in the last week. Your 4 candidates are.
Now, number 1 is the worst?
Number 1's the worst. Number
Okay.
4 is the least worst,
problematic.
but
Okay.
also not great.
Okay.
Your 4 candidates are Michael Porter Jr. saying he gauges the women he's interested in by throwing on Andrew Tate, an Andrew Tate podcast. Tyler Hero came out and said he doesn't believe anything in history.
Yeah, I did that on a podcast.
Like, doesn't believe anything in history.
And they're like, wait, what?
What do you mean?
Like, what about this? And he goes, I don't believe that really happened.
He was like, I wasn't there. I don't think it happened. Just,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of history. Got it. Roger that. I want to make sure I'm correct on this. I believe I read a report that Inside the NBA will not start until Christmas. Am I correct on that?
Now, I saw that same thing, but I haven't been able to concretely back that.
Okay, so we'll put that at number 4 maybe, but I've seen that report that they're contemplating not even starting the show on ESPN.
There's no way that can be true.
Well, we all know the NBA starts on Christmas. Maybe ESPN's taking the same mantra.
I just...
You're not getting in the way of our SEC football, dude. We're not putting you on.
Well, I don't
We
know
got
why-
Arkansas, Alabama here this weekend.
Let me see. Here it is.
Okay. Because that was one of my 4 candidates. Everybody's like, wait, what? Why would you not start right away on
Early
ESPN?
ESPN coverage has fans worried. You won't. You see Inside the NBA crew on ESPN on October 22nd. Briefly, according to Sports Media Watch, Inside the NBA is currently scheduled in a 30-minute time slot, so it's already 25 minutes less.
So they're cutting time out of the show, pumping it full of commercials. So it'll be the same crappy pregame and postgame that they've always done, just with different hosts.
Show reportedly air live during ABC, ESPN big events like the NBA Finals, Conference Finals, as well as opening week and Christmas Day, which means we might not see them again after opening night until
Christmas Day. Because
holy.
So that would be a disaster. Or the NBA and their new partnership with NBC announcing that their Peacock and NBC games will start at 8 p.m. local time.
Yeah. So this is pretty easy for me.
Power ranking 1 through 4. History, Andrew Tate, 8 p.m. No Inside the NBA till Christmas.
2 of those 4 are not surprising. And 1 is very problematic, I would say. But you're entitled, I guess, to listen to whatever you want to listen to. 1, I'm going to go, worst thing is the start time.
Oh, okay.
It's
upset.
I mean, it's not even enough. It's just the most idiotic decision you could have made is starting at 8 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, does anybody defend this? Are there people out there that are like, yes, 8 o'clock?
No, but
We're
the
different.
NBA
I mean,
is defending it by doing it.
Sure they are. I mean, that's part of you're willing to pay how much to broadcast our rights, and they're going to have a little bit of wiggle room of, this is where we're going to air your games.
Well, I mean, if we're just being honest here, like, I wake up at 3:45, 4 a.m., like, I'm really supposed to stay up until 10:30 to watch an NBA regular season game? Kick rocks.
Especially with how late or how long some of the endings of those games take, with timeouts and fouls.
No way that's going to happen. And nobody on the East Coast is watching these games. Like, only sickos, like Rob Perez, Worldwide Wob, is going to be the one who watches this, and he'll do a live, and he'll have, there'll be 1,000 people on his live. That's it.
4 a.m.
That is the only people watching that. It is the dumbest rollout they could have done is an 8 p.m. start time. Inside the NBA is my second because I just think it was a chance for ESPN to say, okay, in good faith, we won't change this show fundamentally. It will be the show that you love. It's just going to be on a different network, but they'll even be in the same studio. And then they announced they've cut it by 25 minutes.
I mean, it's just, why would
like,
you
good luck
do that?
to you. I just, and I know it's going to go long. It's going to go like 35 minutes, but
why would you just decide to buy that and spend the money to do it and then cut the time of it? I don't understand that from a business model
because they look
standpoint.
at those things as like commercial dollars instead of just like, do we actually reap more from the program itself, the way Turner did?
If you go 30 minutes with it and then have what's going to air after that,
Sports Center.
What would people watch more?
And then you'll probably have Kenny do a hit on Sports Center with SVP.
Yeah.
So I would say that is second because you're ruining a show an iconic show, the greatest studio show of all time in sports media history. And then third is absolutely Michael Porter Jr., Andrew Tate. I mean, that's just problematic beyond description. And Tyler Hero, we all kind of thought was who Tyler Hero says he is.
It's pretty stupid. Michael Porter Jr. also had a quote about gambling, sports gambling.
Well, that got a little misconstrued as well. It got edited.
Okay, it did.
So he
Did I
did
get butt
say
cracked?
people shouldn't be doing this, but that part got taken out.
Okay, because he said something basically like a lot of kids come from nothing. And
if I can get my guys paid, why wouldn't I do that?
Hey, I'm a little banged up tonight. I'm going to get under 10 rebounds. I'm going to let you know. Go put 10 grand on it. You make some good money. And people pointed out, like, with the amount of money that you make, you could just give them the 10 grand and invest it, and then they could pay you back the 10 grand if they invest it properly. Like, if you knew what to do with money,
his brother just got popped for gambling.
He did. He said gambling was always his vice, and women have always been my vice.
Right. So let's listen to Andrew Tate on that topic. Seems like a good idea. So ridiculous.
The way this NBC thing's going to work out, like, I think there's a cool angle to it of the old theme song playing, the old Peacock, like, just all of that will take us back to the 1990s. And then there's the implementation of every Tuesday having a doubleheader that, according to what we read yesterday, because I was asking questions about, like, are all these on NBC or are they all on Peacock? I didn't believe they all would be. And I was partly correct because affiliates are essentially going to have the choice to pick up one of the two.
Yep.
And if you're on the West Coast, you're not picking up the first part of the doubleheader and bumping your 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock news.
So you got to Peacock for that one.
You're going to go to Peacock for that one, and then you're going to pick up the late one, but the late one is a game if it's not, like, it's starting at 8 o'clock at night. And so I just, like, it's interesting. Like, they had to kind of bend over backwards for NBC. NBC clearly didn't want to bump certain parts of their programming in order to have their Tuesday showcase games on.
Right.
So on the East Coast, the games are also starting at 8 o'clock their time. So the first one will be on at 5 our time. But again, I don't think NBC affiliates on the West Coast will pick that up. So it's just, I don't know, just that decision to go that late. There's a lot of money involved, and the NBA's happy about that. And they're getting $7 billion total in this new TV deal. Like, they're doing fine financially. But from a ratings and growth of the sports standpoint, I'm genuinely curious how that works out for them.
I mean, you're going to get the nostalgia. Like, despite all this, I'm still excited just because I love hoops. The one thing I'm excited about that you didn't even bring up there is, like, what is the contribution Michael Jordan plays to it? Because he reportedly has been hired by NBC.
Yes, he'll be on NBC.
Now, they label it a special contributor. I don't know what that means, but by the reporting, it says, like, he basically doesn't want to crap on the players. His former teammate Stacey King yesterday had a clip go viral about how overrated LeBron is and how he's not even that good. And I'm just like, oh my God, Stacey King is commenting on this. It's ridiculous. But
stay in your lane, Stacey King.
I want to see what Mike says about some of the young players. And, you know, like, I really legitimately would love to hear Michael Jordan analyze Anthony Edwards and say, he kind of does remind me of me. Now, you got to do what I did. You got to win, young man. But like, I want to hear that. I'm genuinely excited about it. But 8 p.m. start times, you lose me at that. You're killing inside the NBA, which, you know.
It was already kind of dead, but then you had hope maybe it would stay alive, and now it's kind of dead again.
The most obvious thing here is Barkley bitching about this in January, February. Oh, we're going to be on for 10 minutes?
Yeah.
15 minutes?
15 minutes of commercials, 15 minutes of content.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. So, I'm excited about it, but there's elements I'm not, and I guess just kind of wait and see how it all plays out.
Interesting week in the old association, man. It's one of those facts of football season that I always chuckle at internally of, like, yeah, it's right around the corner. Football starts, and then you look up and you're like, oh,
dude,
that's right. The NBA's about to start.
We're a month away from Danny Meringue telling us about the fall camp going on. Like, that is right around the corner.
How's Blake Wesley looking in training camp,
Exactly.
dude? I need to know now, man.
Did you see John Wall retired?
Wait, what? John Wall wasn't retired?
John Wall's officially announced his retirement.
When was the last time John Wall played in an NBA game?
I don't know.
Not that long ago.
Has it been that long? Do we know that? We just did this with OBJ. Adam Schefter retired him, and then he unretired himself?
No, that was a fake.
Was that a fake thing?
Schefter.
Okay, it was a
he
fake
responded
Schefter?
to a fake Schefter.
Got it, okay. Because
Yeah.
I saw that tweet, and I'm like, are you I didn't see the original
Well, nobody
Schefter
is
thing.
signing him, so I would argue if you're at this point,
You're retired?
do you get anything from it?
What year was the last year John Wall played in the NBA, and what team did John Wall play for?
2023 Clippers.
God, yeah, bastard.
Am I right?
You are right, yeah. 2022, 2023 Clippers. He played in 34 games, scored 11 points per game.
Did he? I mean, like, John Wall had a great career.
The start of his career was awesome. He was an awesome player for a long time in Washington, and then the injuries piled up.
He's a 5-time All-Star. He'd made third-team All-NBA. He was second-team All-Defensive Team.
He was in 2015.
And, you know, he also, I saw this highlight, but
Him and Bradley Beal. That was the backcourt combo between Dame and CJ or John Wall and Bradley Beal. Who would you rather have?
he has one of the more enjoyable moments in a game that I can recall watching live as a fan, and I think you can find it on social media. But I was watching a random Wizards Hawks game years ago, and I don't know why I was watching it. I was bored. I had League Pass, but I'm watching it. He tears down the rebound. He gets the ball. He instantly just gets on his John Wall speed, and if you watch, he dribbles up the court. There's like 3 Hawks in front of him. One are flanked to his left and right, and one's kind of in the center. He goes. He spins the ball behind his back full speed, gets past the guy in the center, and then yams on the other guy with his left hand. In-game moment, it's one of the best in-game things I've ever seen. And I know you're laughing. I know that's a nerdy thing to pull.
That's a
but
very nerdy thing.
If you go look at the highlight, you go,
Yeah.
oh, my God, that was pretty impressive.
Dude, he was a walking bucket for a while, a walking highlight for sure for his first 6-7 years in the league. Like
Well,
he
he
had some
Dougie,
awesome
though,
years.
so that meant he was never going to win.
He's never going to win. Another one of those guys that the injuries piled up. Like he was 28 years old when the injury started him out. Like he would have had another 5 or 6 years if he didn't miss 2 total seasons of in their entirety. Even the 1 year he came back in Houston, he was pretty good. He only played in 40 games.
Yeah.
But he still scored 20 a game. So interesting week for the association. 8 p.m. NBC start times. We'll be here before we know it, man.
And do the Blazers have any home games for these? I forgot the schedule, but
3 or 4.
But are they home?
Yeah.
So I'm genuinely curious with Blazer fans. Tuesday, are you taking your kids to that 8 p.m. game?
No. They play at home.
Well, you're not. You don't go to games. I'm
No.
talking about people who go to games. Are you going to take your kids Tuesday?
Tuesday, November 18th is their first one on NBC.
Who do they play?
The Phoenix Suns.
It's Devin Booker and a bunch of nothing.
They get the Dallas Mavericks on Monday, December 29th at home.
See, that's
8 p.m. Peacock.
That's holiday
That's
time,
holiday, though. And that's a great game to go to because you at least get Cooper Flagg, knock on wood.
Tuesday, February 3rd, also against the Phoenix Suns, 8 p.m. start time.
You've got 2 of the 3 games on that I'm just like, I have no interest in
Anthony
seeing that.
Edwards in town on February 24th, Tuesday, 8 p.m. start time.
See, now you're making me kind of wonder a little bit, and I don't think I'm taking my kids to that game. If I would, I'd just
And
go.
that is it. They have 2 that are also road games that are 8 p.m. start times. With those, you're not going to because the road games. One's at Golden State, and the other one is
At the Clippers.
at the Clippers in March.
There you go.
So you have a handful of. Yeah, I mean, would you? I would, even if I didn't work this job, and I worked like a normal wake up time job,
Yeah.
like 6, 7. Like I'm not going anywhere near that game on a Tuesday night. My kids are in school.
Yeah. God bless people that.
What time are you getting home from that game? Let's say you don't live within a walking distance of the Moda Center.
11?
A normal time. You're getting home at
You're getting home at game will be
At the
over between
earliest, right?
10:15 and 10:30.
Getting out of the arena, going back to your car, traffic, getting in your car, driving home, or Max, if you took it back to where you're
not
going.
like way far away, like
Oh,
you're within
sure.
the suburb
Dude, if
area.
you're in a normal general suburb around
you know,
the Moda
to the
Center.
outskirts of.
If you're going Max, you're not getting home till 11:30, 11:45, because those Max, there's a million Max stops.
Maybe we just sound old, but I just on a Tuesday night. Like,
Well,
I'm
we are
out on
sounding
that.
old, but I'm more thinking from the parent side things.
Yes.
Like if your kid's a diehard Blazer fan.
Yeah.
I mean, Anthony
Unless
Edwards.
you're that parent and just go, okay, I'll take you to school late and write you a note.
Well, that's also a big thing in school nowadays. Is kids just skip.
Kids just do whatever they
What are you
want.
skipping for? Anxiety. Okay. I mean,
I'm going to need a day off Friday for my anxiety. I've decided it's building up a little bit much. Football season's around
I'm
the
a big
corner.
believer in anxiety, but like sometimes I hear it, I'm like,
I need a
didn't they
mental
skip
health
2
day.
days last week? And,
I need a mental health day. Let's get to the mail sack. Your questions are welcome. 503-864-6326. We'll answer them next on 105.1 FM The Fan.
AM.
All right, welcome back in. 9:20 on your Tuesday morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope your day's off to a good start.
I like your show. I've been watching you for years. I like you, but I don't like you.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let's get to the mail sack. You guys ready to sack it up today?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Mail sack today starts, and I follow. Mail sack question. Randomly watched the OG Space Jam the other day, and it got me thinking.
Yeah, it's time to slam now.
If you could steal one current athlete's ability across any sport for 1 week, who would it be? In my current state in life, it's very easy for me to pick.
Now, are you participating in a sporting event, or is
I don't
this
think
just have
so.
the
Just
ability?
in your own personal day-to-day life, which makes Scotty Scheffler the easiest call of all time. Like if you gave me a week, I would play golf all 7 days.
Dude, I wasn't even
and
thinking
play
about
Scotty
golf.
Scheffler as him every day and shoot 58s at Eastmoreland.
Okay, but like if I also told
Like being able to be Patrick Mahomes for a week does nothing for me.
Yeah, it does.
What does it do?
You show out and teach those young Sparkies you still got it.
Show up at Cleveland football
Dude,
practice.
If I met the Nelson football coach at an event thing last school year, if I show up to a practice and I go, yo, let me get some reps in against your defense, and I have Lamar Jackson's speed and ability,
that'd be kind of, I mean, it'd be fun. I'm not
they
saying
are
it
going to
wouldn't
be
fun.
so humbled.
Dude, what's this guy doing? We can't catch him.
You didn't go to the NFL? Nah, man, I
Wouldn't you
chose
be more
not
tempted to go like do some run in a like 5-on-5 open gym and have insert like Luka, Steph, Jokic?
Look, my answer is not Lamar or Josh Allen.
But that would be fun. That scenario would be fun.
Because kids have always been cocky, right? But like I played tennis against my nephew a few weeks ago, and I was surprisingly playing well. I was hitting aces, and forehand was good. I was like, oh my God, look at me. High school Sprague. I worked my nephew. Just destroyed him.
Yeah.
And he was not ready for it. He just said to me this weekend, because I bought a tennis racket at a Goodwill, he goes, well, I'm going to work you next time we play.
Sure you will.
Get your ass whooped. What are you talking about?
Sure you will. Speaking of coaches doing that, I had a Pop Warner coach, shout out to Coach Jake, who did that when I was in like 7th or 8th grade.
Yeah.
We were playing a team, and he was, I don't know, we were probably too cocky or something. He showed up to practice one day in full pads and played like scout team running back.
Oh,
There's no way you could do that now, and he was a big-ass dude.
So you're just throwing your body at legs.
I mean, I wasn't because I was the quarterback, so I didn't play defense, but the people who were on defense were trying to tackle him, and it was hilarious to watch. And I'm like, that would have been, now that I am at the age I'm at, which is probably similar to the age that he was when he did, that would be so much fun to do.
How many underreported concussions on your team happened because of that practice?
Steamrolling guys in the hole? Like, I can't take. He's 6'3", 220. I can't tackle that.
I mean, the basketball one's pretty good. If I had an Ant Edwards ability to go to an open run and just yam on everybody and shoot like 38% from three, I mean, it's hard not to pick that. But to your overall point, my Achilles probably pops now.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going Scotty Scheffler golf.
Scotty Scheffler golf for a week. Could you imagine? Controlling the ball wherever you want, hitting draws, fades.
Now, where do you
bombing it?
What's the course you go to with your ability?
I'd want to play all of them. I would want to see how low I could go at every.
What didn't they say for one day?
No, it says for a week. For a week, you get his powers for like I'm saying, honey, week off.
Exactly.
You do whatever you need to do. I'm playing 7 straight days of golf, and we're gonna see how low I could go.
I'm hustling people.
Oh, absolutely.
I will talk so much S on the range.
Be great.
And I'd fake my ability.
Get a week down at Bandon or something. If you go down to Bandon.
A golf trip week to pair it with Scotty Scheffler abilities.
With Scotty Scheffler abilities.
Oh, damn.
I think I just pitched a tent. Mail sack question in your athlete careers. Hey, we're talking a lot of nostalgia today. I like this. Did you ever play against a future professional player, and how did it go? I'll go first. I played LBG, linebacker guard, I'm assuming. Played against Joey Porter, linebacker running back. My highlight was meeting Porter in the hole, getting absolutely trucked, and being dragged 10 yards down the field. The dude was a beast.
Mount Hood Conference, I don't believe, had anybody.
Never played against somebody who made
really
pros?
good teams. Park Rose got obliterated every time we played anybody with a pulse, but I don't believe in our conference we had any pro athletes. I'm trying to really think on
Swag, I think you got one, don't you?
Well, there's two. One, now I was in the same box score. I was not in the game as the same time as Damon Stoudemire when he was a sophomore at Wilson High School, mopping the floor with us.
Yeah.
Were you in the box score, though?
Yes, I was in the box score.
Because the game was so lopsided, we got the 52s in there?
Yeah, we got the 50 series in.
50 series came in at the end.
Every day.
PIL, baby.
Now, it wasn't in the sport that he ended up going pro in, but every day at practice, I was oftentimes guarding Doug Nussmeier, who was Garrett's dad.
How about that?
They have another Nussmeier kid coming up, class of 2028 or 7 or something.
Is it a G? Does it start with a G the way the Knipples do?
I can't remember the first name. No, I don't think it is.
I can't remember his name.
But he's another elite quarterback recruit.
Yep.
Growing them on trees down there, man.
So, yeah.
I have 3 that I know. I probably played against somebody in baseball that I'm just not remembering.
PIL's got some pretty good talent in it, man.
I mean, and to be fair, in some of these I didn't play against them. Like I was this in Ndamukong Suh when he was at Grant. I was a sophomore when he was a senior. We were down 700-0 in the third quarter, so he was no longer in the game anymore.
Oh, so you got to play in it
in the game? It was, just an absolute bloodbath.
Right.
I'll never forget him picking up our running back. They met in the hole, and he picked up our running back and just picked him up and bear hugged him and walked him backwards.
Did they blow the whistle?
After about 5 yards, they did. So that was kind of funny. And he was his little legs were going. He was trying to kick his legs and get loose.
I never forget seeing a highlight randomly on one of those Friday night lights and just going how unfair is this?
Yeah, that was not fair. He was the largest human I'd ever seen. When I was also that year, we went to a football camp down in Gold Beach every summer. And that year happened to be the year that Ray Maualuga's high school was there.
Oh, my
that I also didn't play against, so that's not a direct thing. The only one that I have directly was when I was a kid. I used to play on a traveling I was actually on a good basketball team. I sucked at basketball, but my friends were all good, and so I played on a traveling team. And we got so good against the leagues we played against, we had to go join a Northeast Portland basketball league because that was the only level of talent that could hang with us.
Sure.
And there was a team, I can't remember what they called themselves. It was all black kids and Kevin Love. Kevin Love was on that team. And you knew it it was oh, yeah, one white guy on that team, and he's in the post throwing up hook shots and draining everything.
Massive,
and you're damn, that guy's pretty good.
We
Who's
had
this
another,
kid? And then it was oh, that's Stan Love's kid, because his dad was always there, and so that's the only one directly.
No, we
I
had
played
another kid from the basketball team actually make it to the NFL. Grant Carter, who was a linebacker, played at Pacific down in Stockton until they ended the football program. He might have been on one of the last football teams down there. He came up in the Chargers and was actually going to get signed to the team, and then he got a couple of concussions that prematurely ended his career.
You know, pretty early on in life, you're oh, that's different.
You know it when you see it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see it and you know it, and you're wait, you didn't
what?
Make it to the league?
How did you not get there? You had all the talent in the world.
For us, that would have been the Tarver brothers from my grade.
Sure.
The Tarver brothers were both one was, I think, Josh was my grade, and then Seth was just a year below. And just watching them, you'd be oh my God, they got 2 NBA players.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that's how hard that league is.
that's how challenging it is. A couple more quick ones and we'll go to break. Mail Sack, do you ever use any of your drops in everyday life? I dropped it. It's so deep, it's so long when measuring a space for a storage cabinet.
It's so deep. It's so long.
Joe Freeman getting shout-outs in this guy's kitchen.
That's a great question, actually. Do you take any of our drops? I do the no one cares a lot to myself.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I
cares.
I don't know if I do any.
No one cares
on my own.
By the way, the best part about that clip is he is shoving his sister or something is recording a selfie video, and he walks past her, shoves her in the pool, and says, "No one cares." Sometimes I'll if I fix something correctly, I will drop a
Swagalicious.
You'll do that, really? You'll do a Swagalicious if you cook something up?
I definitely do the "it's over, we think" all the time. We think.
I think I need to do more of these. I'm not doing enough of these in my day-to-day life.
To the room, Daddy! Oh, look at that! Well, and sometimes me and the wife.
Mail Sack, one more and we'll go to break. Mail Sack, would you try lab-grown meat if it was 100% identical to real meat?
Oh, also, I absolutely say this whenever he ends up having a good game.
Yeah, way to go, Kirkers!
Yeah, that's the one I definitely do. That's my boy, Kirkers! You like that? I do. You like that for sure.
I've dropped one of these before.
Those are dead.
Cat pervert.
That one throws people off all the time. What?
Cat pervert.
What was the question?
Would you try lab-grown meat if it was 100% identical to real meat?
100%.
I eat fake. I actually like a fake meat at Trader Joe's.
My daughter hated you for that.
Really? Did she try it?
Yeah.
You guys got it and you didn't like it?
I thought it was okay.
I love that stuff.
You acted like it was exactly the same. It was a little off.
It's not the same. No. It's just the flavor that it tastes. It's not even like a meat to me. It's just like a snack. It's almost like a chip. I could throw those things down my gullet.
Yeah, my daughter didn't like those.
She was anti those.
No, not.
No fake meat at all.
Why? Why are you poo-pooing?
Don't be so stubborn in life, Swag.
It'd be like
try
mayo.
new things.
I give it to you.
Have you ever tried a fake meat?
Not that I know of.
Okay, so you're refusing to try. What if they're good? Why would you refuse to try something?
I had an Impossible Whopper when it first came out.
It's one thing to taste something and not like it and say that's not for me, but why would you say no? I'm not going to eat it.
I'm not kidding. When I had it, this consistency and taste was not different.
I mean, I'm sure I've had some Impossible burgers. I've had Impossible chicken nuggets. Those are fine.
I find the Impossible ground beef disgusting. We've tried it a million times. My daughter's a vegetarian. I do
What
it.
do you do it with? What do you put in it? Like for tacos?
I've done it with spaghetti.
Yeah.
I've done it with tacos. I've seasoned it. I just don't like it.
Yeah. To each their own. I'm not the biggest vegan in the world. I think that's pretty clear, but I'll eat it from time
If you
to time.
gave me something that was tested and like proven to be good,
yeah.
Why would you dismiss it? I don't get the dismissal.
Oh, I'm not.
You hated mayo until you tried it.
You did. Now you're a mayo fan.
Now you're a mayo guy.
That's why we call you Mayo Boy.
No. I just think if you got a burger and they were like, "Hey, just try my burger," and you try it, and you're like, "Man, it's really good," and then they told you, would you be like,
Yeah, you're not spitting it out.
No. But I'm not going out of my way to try it.
So you're boring. You're the
Yes.
missionary of food tasters.
You are.
Pretty much.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
Got his food takes, he sticks with them. A couple more mail sack questions, a few football questions as well. We'll get to that coming up next. First, here's us with a update.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, 5-game slate in the WNBA tonight, highlighted by the championship rematch. The Minnesota Lynx are in the Big Apple to take on the New York Liberty. Still, Nafisa Collier still out from Minnesota. No Stewie for the Liberty. Lynx looking for extend their road winning streak, which is at 5 games. So that's 4 o'clock on NBA TV.
How about this one? California officials officially concerned. They are finding that wild pigs are turning neon blue.
It's from those half-hour orgasms.
Absolutely. Could be that, or it could be what's happening around them. So if they're not, their actual skin and fur is not. It's when you cut them open, they're finding that the inside of their layer is all neon bright blue.
I had a full-body boner for 2 weeks.
The reason the officials say this is happening is because they're consuming rodent killer.
Oh.
And so that is mixing with their toxins in their blood, and it's
Getting blue,
changing the inside to a neon blueberry blue. They're very concerned about this.
Are we rooting for death or life? There's another billionaire who has designed a submarine to go visit the Titanic.
No.
Good luck to you.
Are we rooting for this to fail?
I'm not going to root for somebody to implode.
No.
You seen the videos of how that happens?
You should get a look at this submarine, too. It's like he's got a little glass ball he sits in. It's like, too much money, too much time.
How do you test this 1,000 million times with a dummy inside before you ever test it yourself?
Going back down.
Exactly.
What are we doing?
More WNBA pig and submarine stories in 30 minutes. Jason Swigard from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with a.m.
Get to this one because it's from a solid P1 who loves the sack. A few more mail sack questions here. Mail sack, probably too late for an entry. It's never too late.
No,
okay?
never.
Never too late. But I missed the first half of the sack because my fiance called and wanted to vent. Slightly irked because I love the sack. Mail sack, do your wives happen to call you at the worst time too, or is it just mine?
So my wife doesn't like talking on the phone. I will call her for an urgent thing, and she will be like, what? This. No. Boop. My wife's not a phone talker.
I'm not either. I'm just like her.
Well, your wife's worse with the phone than you are somehow.
Yes.
I can't believe that happened. I have this happening in my life right now, and I don't know what to do about it. My oldest daughter is now growing into an age where me and her used to be besties, right? Like a lot of years, I'd have to watch her for most of the day because we worked a night shift.
Right.
And now it's heartbreaking because they don't tell you as a dad that eventually the girl is going to have this period where you're not the favorite and you're more corny and cringy.
Get away from me, Dad. You're embarrassing me, Dad.
And I'll be damned. The only time she seemingly wants to talk to me is if I'm listening to something that I think is important for the show or in the middle of a sporting event that I'm like really into.
Yes.
And then she's like, you're not even listening to me. And I'm like, why? Why is it right now?
You've had all this time.
I try to talk to you, and you go, ugh, leave me alone. And I'm just like, what about my feelings?
What about my time? Dad's got to work too, you know?
So this is happening to me right now almost daily with my daughter of like, or she'll say something, and then somebody else will want my, hey, Brandon. And I'll be like, huh, why did this make? You're not even listening to me. And I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, my wife will do this constantly during football games where she'll sit in silence for the first 97% of the game, scrolling her phone, and then with 2 minutes to go be like, oh, by the way, did I tell you? And I'm like, hello?
Yeah. You paying attention?
It's 27-24. There's a minute 32 left. If you want me to retain any bit of information that's about to come out of your mouth,
you're going to wait.
You're going to wait until this game is over. I remember a couple years ago I think it was the Chiefs-Eagles Super Bowl. She had something going on. She was doing errand. She didn't want to watch the game.
That was a good game, too.
Dude, she legitimately was on her way home as the Chiefs got the ball for their last drive and called me and just started talking about something that was bothering her. And it took like 2 minutes before I was like, all right, I might get in trouble for this, but
I got to pull the plug.
I'm going to need you to stop talking right now. Can you talk to me when you get home? Because there's 2 minutes left of the Super Bowl.
My wife's pretty good at it. She understands the gig. Like, she knows what I'm doing. And it's not that my daughter, I don't know, it's just bad timing. It's very bad timing.
Mail sack question, would you rather be caught in public and try and convince a stranger to let you borrow their phone wearing only your underwear, a cheerleader costume that's too small, or a furry costume?
The furry costume is probably the least intimidating.
Yeah, probably the furry costume.
Right? Like if I'm in underwear asking for a phone, like you don't, what? And then if I'm cheerleader outfit, I don't know if you trust what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The furry costume is questionable at best, but like at least I'm fully covered.
Can I take the head off?
Yeah, I imagine
because it's just like a hood or something.
What's his name? When I
it's
asked
more
to
like a
borrow the phone,
onesie
can I-
pajama thing with a fold-up hood, isn't it?
You're just dropping.
Oh,
that.
I'm thinking like a mascot
Like a
costume.
full-on
Like I'm thinking like
costume.
a full-on
No.
furry. No, not quite to that level.
Well, I had this yesterday, so I went and run errands with my bike. I like to ride to my grocery store now with my bike. It's a good exercise. I had a Diet Coke, but it was a bottle. Now, there's a bottle return at this grocery store, so I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll go give this to somebody because my backpack was jam-packed. I see a lady unloading 2 bags. I'm like, this is perfect. I go, excuse me. Now, I am in a cut-off sleeve T-shirt, shades, backwards hat, shorts, on a bike with a backpack. I look like I'm somebody begging for cans right now, right? So I go up to her and I go, excuse me. And she just gives me like a side eye, like,
who's this weirdo?
I'm like, do you want this? Because like I don't want to carry it anymore and I'm done. And like, yeah, it's 10 cents. You're depositing. I don't have room. I don't have room in my bag.
What?
I don't have room in my bag. It's a bottle. You just shove it in.
You just grab it and put it in there.
She goes, yeah, thanks, but no thanks. And I'm like, okay, you clearly are weirded out by me. I'm going to set it right here. There was a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, somebody else will grab this free bottle and I'll be good. Yeah.
Let's see here. I got one more, and then we got some fun former athlete stories coming in that are pretty good to read. Somebody said, mail sack question, when do I get to declare myself a P1, or do I need to be nominated and go through a vetting process, or can I just declare it?
You declare it. It's
Dude,
like Michael Scott bankruptcy.
You declare it, man. You just add P1 to the end of your text and add your name. It's P1 for those who are new to the radio program. Maybe you're a 105.1 FM listener. Shout out to our Karens in Battleground. It just means that that's your number one precept. And that's, you listen to the show, you text in, you interact. We recognize phone numbers and names because people are here most days. And so that's what a P1 is. There's no vetting process. There's no application process.
We're against it. I'm curious, though, for you guys, do you ever think about the reverse version of what we're talking about with our significant others? Like if we have, like my daughter or your wife, if us sports fans that are like a lot of males have somebody talking to us at the worst possible moments, what do you do, or do you do this to your wife in her, like, why would you talk to me right now?
That's a good question. I'd have to ask her. I'm sure there's times when I bother her where she's like, would you just shut up? I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z. Or you're in the way. Can you get out of the way? Like, I'm sure there's stuff that I do.
Because my wife's job's pretty mentally straining.
Yes.
She works at home.
Well, your wife works at home, so that's different. You can bother her in the middle of her workday.
But she has a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I was talking to my dad yesterday. Why are you telling me this right now?
Some deep philosophical conversation as she's trying to send her TPS reports, man. Leave her alone, dude. Leave her alone. A couple of good ones that came in. Somebody said I played dodgeball in high school against Alan Embry, MLB pitcher.
How about that?
That would not be a fun guy to play. What else we got here? Eddie Coons getting texted in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's a counties right there.
You know what? I was really Kevin Gunderson. Like I got a couple baseball bros that I played against.
Baseball bros growing up. There you go.
Bar none, not remotely a contest. Eddie Coons, the most intimidating.
Oh no.
And then I'd point the bat straight back at the pitcher, like a little cocky.
Ichiro.
Dude, worse than Ichiro. I'd point it at the pitcher. And then I'd put my little stance. And Eddie Coons is throwing the equivalent of like 85 for our age. And I'm just like, don't hit me.
The balance of getting older and making fun of kids for things that they do that you did when you were a kid is really funny to me. Like I was at a couple of my nephew's baseball games. You know what are really in for kids is the oven mitt sliding gloves.
Oh, yes.
They all have them in their pockets. They
all
all
have the cool
wear them
stuff.
while they're running base. None of them slide head first.
No.
That's the whole point of the glove is to
Right.
protect your
Yes.
hands when you slide head first,
Right.
so they don't get stepped on. They all slide feet first, and they got these like huge neon. But I know if I was 12 now, I'd be rocking the same stupid pair of gloves.
Well, I was lucky because Coons was a grade above me. And even though I was a douchey little leaguer, he was always really nice to me.
Yeah, nice guy.
Very
Even
nice
though he
guy.
dominated, he was humble as a little leaguer. Is that
Dude,
what you're telling me?
I was happy, man. There were a couple Park Rose guys on those national championship Beaver teams. I was super happy for him. He's the 46th pick in the draft.
Very cool, man.
That was awesome.
I raced Galen Rupp at the state track meet. Shocker, he beat me. That got texted in. He said, my dad tackled Anthony Newman in high school by getting trucked by him, and then Newman stepped out of bounds. So technically, that's a tackle. You brought him, they ended the play there.
I was really good at getting stiff-armed by running backs that were bigger and stronger than me when I played DB, but I would also pull them down with me.
Yeah.
So I'd get credit for a tackle, but also they kind of put me in a position where I'm like leeching on to them to yank them down.
Just hold on for life. Played against Jordan Poyer. Somebody said dude was different.
Yeah.
Also, a couple of quick ones. Somebody said I would want to pick the UFC ability and go fight some old grudges for the athlete ability for a week.
Oh,
go find an old nemesis, and all of a sudden you're Conor McGregor or whoever. Somebody said, how about being Phil Ivey and going to Vegas for the World Series of Poker? Make some money out of your week? That's not a bad idea. Does that count as an athlete?
Yeah, I would put it in the category.
That
I
counts?
used to watch is it Norm Chad?
Norm Chad.
Norm Chad.
Norm Chad on the play-by-play?
Somebody said, without hesitation, my superpower, I want to throw a 104-mile-an-hour heater.
I mean, it's got to be awesome to do that, right?
Whoa, that was fun, man. So there you go. There's your mail sack. Well done, everybody. We'll get to any leftovers we have next week. Wrap it up, put a bow on the end of the show. Next, 105.1 FM, The Fan.
a.m.
Well, a funny bit of news to end the show today, considering an interview we did about an hour and 50 minutes ago. Before we get to that, I will ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
Now, maybe I'm just focusing too much on one player, but for some reason, his ad when he did it stood out to me.
Okay.
Because Dylan Gabriel might have done this last year. I can't remember off the top of my head.
He did.
He did, okay.
He did.
So maybe that lessens my concerns. For some reason, when I think of the quarterbacks who rep Beats by Dre, the first guy that pops into my head is DJ Uiagalelei. Because I remember he did it at Oregon State, and then he got it again last year at Florida State for some reason.
Yeah.
He was a Beats by Dre athlete.
I love that you say for some reason, like,
he was not very good at Oregon State. Like, he was fine.
I know, but it wasn't as bad as he was last year.
No,
so,
it was
like,
not.
He at least was going to a notable, program. And,
I guess, yeah, they were off an undefeated season.
Yeah.
Sure. Dante Moore has been announced as a Beats by Dre athlete.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is great. You get unlimited amounts of Beats by Dre, I would imagine, in this deal. You make a decent chunk of change.
They give them all to the teammates. I know that.
So I went and looked at the quarterbacks from last year. Gabriel was one of them.
Okay, he was on the list.
Shador was one of them.
That makes sense.
Jackson Dart was one of them.
Okay, he had a good year.
And then you had DJ, Jalen Milroe, Carson Beck.
Okay.
See, kind of a mixed bag of results
50-50 chance. 50-50 chance.
Only one playoff quarterback.
That is true. Only one playoff
and it was a one and done.
This just a hilarious turn of events for us. So we had Tim O'Malley on earlier talking Notre Dame football. They were number 9 in the preseason Dirty Poll.
Yeah.
And he gave us the idea of who was going to be the starting quarterback at Notre Dame. Kenny Minchie is the player who had kind of built this momentum through training camp. Nobody thought he could win the job. And all of a sudden, in the last couple of days, he's become the online sensation from the quote-unquote insiders that this guy might actually win the job and upset prize recruit C.J. Carr, who everybody thought was going to win the job. And we're like, wow, that's wild. This guy's going to win it. O'Malley seemed to think that he was the front runner for the job. Notre Dame literally just announced 10 minutes ago that C.J. Carr's their starting quarterback.
So O'Malley, I don't believe O'Malley on the interview actually officially
said... He didn't say he was going to win it. He just said
the intel is
that's the intel is that he's been playing better. He's not turning the ball over as much. And it would be shocking if he was named the starting quarterback considering where we were months ago. But it seems like we're trending in that direction. And then Notre Dame came out and said, nope, C.J. Carr.
You almost have to ask yourself, these coaches are going to make the decision that they think is best to win. But you had this a little bit at Ohio State, and you almost wonder if did they make a choice after seeing the reaction?
Floated out there.
Sayan's not the guy. Carr's not the guy.
Floated out there. Who's starting quarterback?
We'll see, man. Reportedly, he was throwing picks in practice, so it could be a dicey, risky play.
They go on the road to Miami Sunday of week 1.
Catholics versus convicts.
Sunday at 4:30.
It's going to be a nice throwback game for us.
God. And then we have no show that Monday. We're off on Labor Day.
Bro, we have one more week.
One more week.
Get through this week 0.
Week 0 this weekend. It's almost here,
And
baby.
then next week will be great.
That will do it for us, folks. If you miss any of the show, go check the podcast, 1051thefan.com, 1051thefan on Twitter, at Dirt and Sprague on Twitter. Give them all a follow. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so yet. We're like just a hair away from 6,000 to be a great benchmark to get to. So go subscribe to the YouTube page if you haven't done so yet. If you're watching the video, like the channel before it, if you're watching the video, like the video before it shuts down. Thanks so much for being a part of our Tuesday, everybody. We will talk to you tomorrow at 6 a.m. The Firm of Harrison Meringue is next. You're listening to 105.1 FM, The Fan.